We are live, everyone. Welcome back to the Anything Goes podcast. I'm joined with my co-host, Mr. Kev Carter.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Yeah, what's up, everything? All right. Also joined by some special gentlemen tonight. I'm joined by a returning guest, Mr. Dr. Good. How you doing, sir?
Good night, fellas. Good night, everybody. About this life.
Good, good, good. I'm also joined by Mr. Teague. How you doing?
Yes, one, the controversial one is back again.
Yeah, yeah,
Back again.
yeah. Larry Elder back on the show tonight, and then
Larry Elder Jr.
I also have a new guest. Do you want to introduce yourself, sir?
Not really, but I'm Seiko.
I just thought sure that was wrong name. All right, we have Mr. Sika on the line. It was a last minute notice, but I really appreciate him coming on to the show. And we gotta have some fun tonight, guys. Remember, please like, comment, and subscribe. And also, when you do subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you could join us in the live chat to comment and have that good entertainment. So, guys, how everybody's week is going so far, man?
Trash,
I ain't
boy.
here rather chill.
Trash.
We are like
All right, we have Mr. Sika on the line.
Yeah, that's it. It's trash, boy. I cannot exhausted with the whole George Floyd and the discussion. Not saying that I fuss. That I don't want to hear about it, but these sort of things could get real exhausting, man. That was a sticky situation. That was real hard to watch, boy.
Well, boy, for me, boy. Yeah, rough, boy. No, I say that for me is that the stress over at the moment, boy. Rough.
Yeah.
Alright.
Stressing about that too, boy. So everything's stressing.
Yeah, so you know what? We already made the announcement. Let's go straight into it. Our first topic for tonight. The death of George Floyd and the riots in America. Yeah, it occurred. Carter, help me out, man. What day did it happen that my man get killed now?
I believe that was Wednesday. It was Wednesday.
Yeah, it was
May
Wednesday,
25th.
May 25th. It was reported that Mr. George Floyd went into an establishment. It was reported that he had a fraudulent, either a check or a $20 bill or something like that. The police came in the middle of the arrest. The officer had his foot on the back of his neck, and he later passed away. Guys, what were your thoughts when you first heard the initial news of the death of George Floyd?
To be honest with you, right?
Right.
To be honest, I honestly didn't pay much attention to it because it was just like, okay, well, another black guy died,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just probably going to be swept under the rug again. So I didn't pay much attention to it at first.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty much it. I just only started to pay attention to it when the situation really started, and we started to see the protests, which turned into the riots, basically. For me.
Okay, Mr. Kev Carter, what was your opinion on it?
Man, honestly, similar to Seko, when he first came across the incident, it was like another black person died.
Mm-hmm.
Back in my mind, I was thinking hopefully to get justice, but I usually know how these things go. But what separated it from the death before was how gruesome it was. Like the guy literally stood on the man's neck for 5 minutes. I mean, over the years, we've probably had some very bad murders of black people, but due to social media and recordings and stuff, you can see it more. You can more see it now, like more after it's occurred, more frequently. But yeah, that was just the case with me. But it was very saddening.
Okay. Mr. Dugan, what was your opinion when you first heard the news, of the passing of George Floyd?
When you hear the news, nowadays it's starting to get desensitized because you're hearing there's another black man killed. But when you watch the video and you see how the man was pleading with an officer's knee in his neck, and fluid coming from the man running underneath the vehicle as if the man had relieved himself.
Right.
You can see the anguish and the pain the man was going through, and you hear how the man's struggling, and all that could be done is people recording. Recordings are helping a lot with these type of cases nowadays because you're able to see what the people have gone through and hopefully what led to this situation. It's painful.
All right.
Nobody should want to go through that or want to experience anything like that. Nobody want to have their family go through that. So it is. I can understand why
It's tough
people
for
are reacting the way they're reacting.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mr. Teague, what was your initial
yeah,
thoughts when this news broke?
man. To tell the truth, man, I was kinda tuned out because of the whole coronavirus thing. So it wasn't really following
Mm-hmm.
the news. I just heard it like by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember where I heard it from. And then I sat down and I watched it with my mom, and it was like, yo, you know about this George Floyd shooting? This George Floyd being killed by the police. So it's actually me and my mother, we sat down and watched it, and like I really discuss it. My mother's face, you probably could have seen the disgust in mine because it was like I actually watched the video and the man was in the neck. The man was hollering, no, please, I can't breathe. Dog, like the man was begging for this man to get out for off of him. And the thing that bothered me the most about it is that they just drag away his body. You see that in the end?
Mm-hmm.
Like when they just drag away the man body in cuffs, but the man was dead.
Yeah.
When you ain't thinking about taking off the cuffs and taking off the restrictions from off of him to see that to try to help him in any way possible. It was just like it just reminded me of the other the shooting Ahmad, I can't remember his name. Ahmad Arbery.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that treat like an animal, dog. And that was what was so hurtful to me because it was like they just scoop out a dead animal from off of the road that they just kill a dead dog. Like that's how they treat a human being. Like he had no worth me. So it was hurtful for me to watch. Especially after that shooting when the gun the fella down it was tough, boy. Like even thinking about it has met me a little. That's the truth.
Right. So as we can get into the discussion of the riots and stuff later on, but do you all think that there could be a way in which this could ever be resolved in the United States of America? I'll start with Dugin. Go ahead.
Well, the thing is when you look at the fact that there's systemic racism,
Mm-hmm.
that police don't believe that there's systemic racism, but there is.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of your training. People are racially profiled all of the time, and there are so many examples of race issues that come up in police arrests. You will see a white man brandishing a firearm, threatening people. The police come there. The police would try to find every other method to take down this man before they use a firearm or before they use lethal force. You will see them try to talk him down. They might try to take out the tasers. They might tase the man. They might try to spray the man. The last thing they usually do when it comes down to a white person, most of the time, I can't say every time, most of the time, is a firearm. That's the last resort.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever it's a black man, you can have a legal firearm, a licensed firearm. You can declare that you have it in your vehicle. You can declare that you have a permit for it. All of that. You could be a nationally registered with the NRA,
Mm-hmm.
and you will still be shot.
Yeah.
Is to draw a firearm or use lethal force. And even if somebody's not resisting, they have a habit of you going beyond to inflict damage to the person. And they don't care if it is a woman, a child, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about it is not systemic. It's not part of their training to racially profile people, when clearly it is. It also varies based on the state
Mm-hmm.
and the type of police unit that is dispatched as well. And I can't say that, you can never say that all police are bad because it comes down to the policeman's judgment.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the
That's
day,
true.
we have you see African American police take down African Americans, and again, their first instinct is not to draw their firearm because they know about the systemic racial profiling. You will see a Hispanic person an Indian, a black, anybody of color is treated differently from how they would normally treat a white suspect. Come on. How do you think they have to change it? It can't be changed just by dealing with anything on the surface. The riots are only gonna bring forward what people are currently feeling, but it's not gonna change anything. Even if we look at our current society, where the white people are 10% of the Barbadian population, but white people are still held like on the pedestal. We have racism here, a lot of it too.
True.
It may not be violent,
Yeah,
but crimes are over.
True.
A couple years ago, we were experiencing a lot of fires, and it turns out it was two teenage white boys who were setting them, and they appeared in Oisin's police in the Oisin's court, and this was their first offense. He was gonna let them off. They burned 4 or 5 plots of land, canes, and nearly burned people's houses down. And the judge was saying they were letting them off as the first offense, and one of the fathers had to come out and ask the judge to lock up their son because their son needed to understand that you cannot do those things. And he lashed his son in the court. The father had to do that in order to get some form of justice. And if it was a black child, they would have got the ass locked up. I'm sorry, but that's just how it is. Even here, we can see it.
It's facts. So, Mr. Sacco, what's your opinion? Do you think we will ever see change come out of this situation?
At the given moment, it's a bit black and white, or I kind of say black and blue in this case. But anyway, it's a bit black and white, I should say. Let's see. Because of what, like in one end, like we've seen this before, and then it continues to still always be a situation that we always have to address, or sometimes even like just go there and just try to do something about it. So for me, is that I believe that it's a situation that still will occur, because this is when we look at it, like the different things like the modes of production, who control the modes of production in certain countries. It is usually the white individuals. And then it's just usually like the minorities, like for example, United States of America, where you have the blacks and sometimes the Asians and the Hispanics, who are the ones committed the crimes, and because that is slowly because they don't have necessary means of income to actually survive, so they go about committing crimes. And this is one of the so essentially that's one of the reasons why they tend to get targeted. Should they be targeted for this? Because at the end of the day, we also know that white individuals also commit crimes as well. So should they be the only ones targeted, targeted for these crimes, or targeted because they're suspected to be going to commit crimes? I don't think so per se. So I think this was I would like it to be the final straw in this situation, but I doubt it very much, because at the end of the day is that when you want change is that you have to show individuals that you will go all out to get the change. And in a given moment, I don't think what we're seeing is that occurring at the moment, because I don't think that they're actually targeting the individuals with targeting the institutions with the power. Because what we're seeing now is just that we're seeing individuals lose faith and momentum in governmental institutions, and that is a police service. So in that regard, since they lost the faith, then things will always be black and white, and it's going to cause severe chaos over the next couple of years. So hopefully that this brings some sort of action or some definite plan. But at the given moment, I have not seen any centralized plan, because the riots are not centralized or strategized in any way with any main leaders.
No whatsoever.
So and it's just individuals, and it's just individuals all banding together to just one main focus is to go protest, riot, and do as they please, essentially. So I'm not quite certain that there's going to be anything coming out of it. So more than likely we're going to have to wait until the protest finished. But what I've seen today was that I saw that Joe Biden was going to meet with some figureheads.
We get it in a minute, right? So hold your thoughts on that one moment, right? We can get it there. Because we got a live question coming in, so I just want to get you guys' initial opinion, and then again ask the question and tell you into what Siko was saying. So Teague, give us your thoughts, man. We seeing change coming out of this.
The thing about it is, I think that the change, in my opinion, I know some people may disagree, but from what I've seen so far,
Mhm.
there's already been some change.
Mhm.
Like the response that we have gotten
Mhm.
from this situation is not the usual response that you would get. Like, look at the Ahmaud Arbery situation. You know that people only start to bring that up after that video got released.
Right.
They were only arrested after that video got released.
Mhm.
Like from the time there were rumblings about that situation, people were looking into it. So I think the change was already in motion. So to me, the whole all the riots and thing are becoming counterproductive in the sense that they're rioting for something that they're already getting. The man has been charged.
Mhm.
He get charged with third-degree murder. The president already come out and spoke and condemned the actions, the police actions. There's an attorney that represents the police. He came out. A policeman from the fraternity and the police come out and condemn the actions. Like the entirety of America is in agreement with this being like a horrible act
Mhm.
and it being something that needs to be punished. And
Mhm.
he getting and the FBI being involved. The president already said that he's going to expedite the process to make this guy get charged, and he got charged in 4 days.
Mhm.
Like in my opinion, like the wheels of change are turning, but like, is it a case where we ain't seeing it because we so angry because it's so easy to sit down and watch that situation and be angry about it. So I don't know. I think that change is already on its way.
Okay.
That's my view of it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Kevin Mann, for in his live chat for answering this question. He asked, "Do you think that what would be the future of race politics in the United States? Do you see this being as a watershed moment?" I'll start with Kevin. Do you think this will be a? Do you see what is the future of race politics in the United States of America?
Well, right. Well, I'm gonna collaborate it with the previous question as well along with this question.
Mm-hmm.
How we see it going is right.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be a case where the black colored rescue will win the battle, but overall, I still feel like the whites will win the war in
Mm-hmm.
terms of yes, a lot is being done in the case. Like they're actually revealing information. Like even if we go back to the case of Eric Garner in 2014 when he was killed, right? That was very secluded. Like they're actually providing with information as to information which is not usually in the media. So basically majority of the world would agree that the crimes were v- very bad, and also too like but however I still believe like in the future racism would still be in effect. I don't believe it was something that would just die down like that, like it will ever die down. Like as much as we would like not to think of it, history repeats itself.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at history, you see that history repeats itself. And if you look at statistics today and in the past, you'll see there are more white business owners than black business owners. I mean, they're very successful black people. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like the men in this group chat, we are all very ambitious. I mean, but the average black person, I would say, sometimes we've got to do a lot to keep our morale and keep a high standard and stuff like that. So I say that to say like it starts in the mentality. Like
Mm-hmm.
most the average black person usually work for someone else, where there's the high achievers who like us, who are very ambitious, who think for themselves and try to make the best of their lives. So in conclusion, I would say, I mean, it would aspire as a bit of change, but moving forward,
You still see the
I
same old
still
thing,
think
right? You don't really
things
see.
will remain the same.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Teague. Do you think that we see a change in race policy in America, race politics in America?
Um, that's a really is a simple question, but it has a complex answer
Mm-hmm.
because I can't remember what polls they were, but there were polls that were saying that race relations in America have improved, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, contrary to what the media is pushing out there,
Mm-hmm.
things are not as bad as we think that they are. Or maybe those polls are a lie. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But it is something that has a complex answer because um we don't know like what's really going on the ground.
Right.
The news doesn't really show us what's going on the ground. The news doesn't really show us exactly what people think
Mm-hmm.
about what's going on in America. Because like, if people really hate Trump as much as they hate Trump, for example, why is Trump being elected? If you get what I mean.
But T, you remember I always tell you this, right? People got three different faces: the public, the family, and then the private face. So we might say one thing in the public, and then behind the scenes, I get my boy Donald X. So
Yeah, and the thing about it is that especially in this era of political correctness, who knows what people are really hiding inside of the privacy of their own homes. It's not a case where people can come and speak and say what they want in this era. No, if you come out and you say something, even if you say something that could imply something, you get his stress on you. So do we know exactly what is going on, what the voices are out there, like what people are really thinking? Because when some of these polls come out, people can actually express how they feel through the poll and still remain anonymous. So then you see some of those true feelings coming out. So people may be going and arguing with the white man down the road, but in reality they don't want to argue with the white man down the road. Them just playing up that argument because this is what's required of them, especially in this era of identity politics. So I feel in the future, maybe not even the immediate future, maybe in the distant future, people are gonna begin to realize, I can't really keep up this facade. I can really say how I want, say how I feel, and eventually maybe we may see a huge improvement in race relations, a huge improvement in race and how the country is run and that sort of thing, as opposed to what we're seeing right now. Because these politicians gotta represent the crazy ideas from the left and the crazy ideas from the right. They're really representing what people really feel and what people really want. And until we figure out, it's gonna be the mess that it is right now.
true. Okay. All right, Mr. Dr. Good, what do you think will the future of race politics be in the United States?
I don't know if it's honestly really going to change that much.
Mm-hmm.
We also got to remember that the oil money is what's run the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Much as the people might vote for something, the electorate still has more say. A lot of people had high hopes that Hillary was going to win before too. They had popular vote and Donald Trump still won.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, money talks. Money has always talked, just like sex.
Oh God.
But things go hand in hand. And you got to remember, so people who have power want things to run a certain way. Look at why Bernie Sanders lost traction and he wasn't getting it and he pulled out.
Mm-hmm.
Bernie Sanders is the type of person that a lot of big companies fear.
Mm-hmm.
And his party fear him because he's like a rabid dog off his leash. Bernie has showed open support for blacks for his entire life. And I can't even say just blacks, Hispanics, anybody that he saw that was being oppressed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not the face that America really wants. You don't want anybody that's going to be too radical.
Right.
You don't want
people care about the money, boy. That's true.
That's true.
Stand out and want to change the entire system. Look at Lincoln. When Lincoln he was assassinated for his beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
he wanted to end slavery somewhat.
Yeah, true. You corrected yourself. Yeah. He did what he had to do to win the war. So.
Correct. And look at the turn that went for. He was assassinated for his actions.
Mm-hmm.
He divided a nation. And that is something that can possibly happen right now. Right now, we are looking at the potential for a civil war. The fact that the president has said he is gonna, if the looting continues, he's gonna start the shooting. I've
I
seen
think that was a
videos on
quote, though. I think that was
Instagram
a
up to
quote,
today where
actually.
people were shot with paint.
Say that again, Teak. Say that again.
No, I think he was quoting somebody, actually. I can't remember
Yeah,
who it is.
Yeah,
from
but if I quote
1960s.
somebody, I think he's still implying it though. But
Yeah,
I
but
mean, as in, he was quoting somebody from the 1960s that said that
yeah. But
during
Trump is use these tactics to get people to talk to. He like to make a lot of remarks. So
Oh
Trump
yeah.
does keep himself relevant. I don't think people
yeah,
understand that
correct.
Trump does always dominate every single
Correct.
news
That's
cycle.
exactly what he does.
if Trump was a
He's
woman, he'd
keep
be a
himself
diva.
relevant.
If Trump was a woman, he'd be a diva. But go
Attention
finish.
seeker.
It's true. Finish your point.
No,
That's it. So do good.
Yeah, but do give
yeah,
a thing.
The the up to today I saw Instagram videos where people were being shot by riot police with paint guns. People just stand up on their porch. Police come out there, go in your home, and then they fire. They say open fire.
the National Guard was out as well.
These are people at the homes. These are not people looting. These are not people disturbing the peace. These are people at their own home. Recording the fact that the military Humvees are driving through their area. Recording the fact that police are out there with batons and guns. And obviously they're not afraid to use them. They shot a lady right in her crotch with the paint gun. It was a canister. It exploded when it hit her. So I mean, the woman said it hit her in her crotch, and she says she claims she's all right. But my thing is that there was no need for that. That pushes, that extends the violence, and in a high possibility, we can see the start of another civil war based on this if it continues to grow, gain momentum.
You saw the lady that got shot in her head with the rubber bullet.
Rubber bullets at close range can actually kill.
It actually partially penetrated through her skull. Actually,
Correct. I've had my experiences with rubber bullets before in Trinidad. when I was with the Cadet Corps, we had a mock war.
Get hit.
We fired
Get
him.
hit.
I didn't get hit. I watched a guy in the sergeant that was leading my squad get hit in his ribs.
That had to hurt.
And because we also had our own type, and one of his grenades, we had rubber ball grenades, and a grenade went off in his side, and it actually tore his clothes and everything, and damaged and tore his flesh. Those things are very dangerous at close range. Just like blanks can kill you at close range. It's pressurized air. So those things are very lethal. As much as people say it's a non-lethal option at close range, they can be very lethal.
All right, Mr. Sequel, do you think do you think what would be the future of race politics in the United States?
Oh geez. To be honest with you, at the present moment, as things are at the moment, like I said, when I revert back to my first point again about people losing faith in institutions.
Right.
I think one of the key things about it is that people also lost faith in the president in itself. And for example, the president has in itself intensified racial relations between the United States and Americans today, and that is because of his support for white supremacist groups. And so I can say that more than likely race politics going forward, if he's elected again, it's going to be very it's essentially going to intensify basically. Is that necessarily going to be good for blacks? I don't think so. But maybe it might just be the breaking point that is needed to actually get them where they want to get. For example, let's say actually no, let me change my point actually. I think one of the things about it too is that the race relations for blacks can actually get to a far point and it can actually achieve really good. But I think one of the issues that with race politics that we're seeing now is that race politics is being engulfed with a lot of liberal talk and liberal ideas. And one of the things about it is that I should say the radical left per se. And one of the things that we're seeing is that because of social media, then people are now calling for more voices to be heard, and they want for celebrities to speak up, to hear the celebrity voices, and to just get individuals such as their white friends to be involved. Just white people in itself just be involved. If you're not getting involved, then then your silence, speaks volume. It's like
Are you racist? Or you're supporting the
Hmm.
you're
yeah.
supporting the racist?
All right. So I want something very quickly, and I want everybody just to answer very briefly.
Mhm.
Do you think white people should speak in these particular issues, or do you think white people should remain quiet and perfectly let black people go ahead and make the demands that they want?
Honestly, believe that is that if you want to speak, then you should be able to speak. If you prefer not to speak, then you shouldn't speak. Because at the end of the day, is that it's one of the things that you see in qualitative research or quantitative research, and that is social desirability bias. So
Mhm.
basically, and what it is that what you see is that you see individuals who might not necessarily agree with what is being said,
Mhm.
but they would actually agree with that tone because they don't want to be seen as morally wrong or ethically wrong,
Mhm.
and that in
Yeah.
itself skews off research, like for us in the social science, and that is one thing that we see in the research field. So given that, then when you have movements going forward and you just want people to just come on to speak, it's going to be seen as performative basically, and it's going to distort what the real notion that you want to achieve basically from it. Because when people speak, then you want people to speak, you want people to mean it, and you want them to be also be able to sway others to also speak and sway others to also be involved in the movement per se. And if you have someone that's like faking it inside of the movement, then it's going to distort the movement at the end of the day, and you're not going to achieve much basically, because
Yeah.
you need solid individuals within the movement to actually get solid change. And I think
That's
that's
it.
one of the issues now that we discussed as well, because we saw the protest, the main aspect of the protest,
Mhm.
and now we're seeing the protest being distorted into being either left
Mhm.
or right wing politics, basically.
Yeah.
And that all started, and for me, I believe that all started because it's like you're seeing the integration of movements coming together with the protests. And because you're having the integration, then that leads to more bad and good. For example, now is like you have the president and his supporters blaming Antifa for the violence going on, and then you have the left then blaming white supremacists for the violence going on. So in itself, it's basically like the main focus of the protests and the riots has now been distorted and has become politicized, and that is one of the main issues that I have. So
Um,
what?
I would say that it was politicized from the time we assumed that it was racist. I would go as far as to say that because
Mhm.
we don't.
All right.
Here's my thing.
Hold on. So I think before you go there, so we jumping into riots,
Yeah.
or hold on. Let me answer so this question very quickly.
Mhm.
Honestly, the future of race politics, I think what's going to happen briefly, I think there will be some pandering towards the black community, especially from the Democrats. Maybe Sleepy Joe would put a black vice president. I don't know if he would put Cory Booker, he would find a woman to run with him. So I feel at first it'd be some pandering from primarily the left, but honestly, I still don't see any major change happening in America unless blacks really push for it. So
Hmm.
as I say, keep it pretty brief because I know we got a lot to talk about. I know the guys don't want to jump into the riots, but I don't
Mhm.
see any major change happening in America.
Mm.
I think what's gonna happen, people are gonna riot for a little while, and then
And then again,
it die down, and then people got to buy the Gucci
Mhm.
slides that hard and uncomfortable, and
Precisely. Like
buying Mercedes Benzes. So I don't
maybe
really see it be any major
1960s.
change until another shooting occurs and or another
mm.
instance of police brutality, and I just think it will spark back up and it would die back down. But
History repeating itself.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't claim to know everything.
History, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
So,
Arthur,
yeah, go ahead.
in relation to the question that you asked, though, in regards of if whites should be able to voice their opinions,
Mm-hmm.
I see it both ways in terms of, well, I'm going to start on the contrary by saying that yes, they can state their views, but how do we know for sure that all of them are being genuine in their views, really stating that racism
Mm-hmm.
needs to be abolished? Like, personally, they haven't gone through what black people have gone through.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, how do we know they're being actually empathetic or genuine in their statements? That's all I'm saying. But however, we can't categorize our stereotype and say that everyone is racist. So we do know for sure that a lot of them are being genuine, but how do we know for sure that all of them are being genuine? So that's why I would say that I see it both ways.
Very
Mm,
good
I
point.
don't know.
Sacco, go
I
ahead.
can interject here really quickly. No, because I also wanted to interject and said that what I believe is that everyone have to speak on certain things or get cancelled. I still don't understand why the black community would like white individuals to speak on, because at the end of the day is that the black community sees the white individuals to have the necessary power to bring about change.
Mhm.
And if they don't speak about it, then that change cannot come about or cannot be effectively brought about. Actually. So I understand the frustration when white individuals, whether it's your white friends or white celebrities, don't speak about certain things.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, is that they're more inclined to get the support for you to get things changed, and sometimes they do have the funds as well. So I fully understand it, but sometimes in some instances I just don't agree with it fully. Sometimes, but I do understand it from the focus and the wide range as to why they would like these things to be achieved and why they feel a certain way when some people speak.
Mhm.
yeah.
But Teague,
Um.
go ahead, Teague.
No, I'm saying before we get in to the riots, because this is an issue that I was grappling with because I was looking at the statistics
Yeah, and
on the whole on the whole thing. That's probably where you wanted me to come on and speak.
yeah. So you want
But
you want to talk about this now, or you want to talk about this during the riots?
is up to you guys.
I
You
mean, if
want
you
to
want,
discuss it?
T,
No,
go ahead, go. Hold on, Matthew, you want to speak very quickly on the question I asked, or you want to let T go ahead?
Let T go ahead.
All right, T, do your thing.
um,
Cut
so
ABL, do your thing. I'm just joking.
nah, so basically, I guess you guys probably know that I like talking because I shared one or two of his quotes on my Facebook.
Say that again. You cut
Well,
out. You said who again?
Thomas Sowell. He's a conservative he's a conservative economist actually.
Thomas Sowell.
Got a lot of credentials.
Mm-hmm.
But
A black man?
one of the
A black guy?
yeah, it's a black guy. It's a black guy.
Thomas Sowell or Sowell?
Sowell, Sowell.
Okay, I found him. Yeah.
Yeah, you could Google him.
Mm-hmm.
So he asked, he asked these three questions because he said, look, I have these three questions for the left because he's a conservative, and he said, compared to what? Because these are economic questions. Compared to what? At what cost? And what hard evidence do you have? And is the last question that stuck. What hard evidence do you have? Like before you go about making a claim, you should check and see what sort of evidence like will back your claim. And the thing about it is that I realize for me personally, and I know a lot of people do this. I can say for me because for anything it involve other people. Say my NBA don't do that. But I had a point in my life that I was starting with my own personal bias and then finding evidence to back that own personal bias, as opposed to looking at the evidence and then developing my own opinion or trying to develop as objective as an opinion as possible. And that was the approach that I wanted to take for this situation. Like, what hard evidence is there? And one of the biggest claims is that is racism, and there's systemic racism and all of that. But and there's a clear disparity. There's a clear disparity between the white people and the black people that are shot. And the harsh thing about it is that the statistics don't suggest that. And that was something that I was grappling with because it was like, but the statistics don't really show this huge disparity. It really doesn't. And I sent a link to the guys is in the chat with the police shootings. You guys were looking at it before, where they had like 1,004 police shootings. You guys saw that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
It should be. I'm gonna send the link again with the police shootings. But right now in 2019 there were 1,004 shootings. If you look, because the current narrative now is that most of the black people that are shot are unarmed and they're not doing anything, right? You guys agree with that, right? That's the narrative right now, right?
In the mainstream media, yeah.
Yeah, in the mainstream media, that's the narrative. Most of the people that are shot by the police are unarmed and innocent.
Black people.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the crazy thing. In that in those 2019 statistics, right? If you go by the race, right?
Mm-hmm.
You change it to black,
Mm-hmm.
and then you change and then you select. I think you can select weapon,
Mm-hmm.
and then to go to unarmed. Only 9 people were shot. Only 9 unarmed people were shot. And the thing about it, when you look at the narrative, the statistics really should be saying like a majority of the people that was shot should have been unarmed. But no, and the thing about it is that I can't remember who it was that suggested it, but they said that the
Oh shit, man.
methodology, yo,
Yo,
that's
but
the electricity.
yeah, I might just blink just
Yeah.
those two dogs.
Yeah.
When I mean,
How did it work?
Mine,
Yo, boy,
mine did too.
hold on.
yo,
Yeah.
all the men good though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we still live. We still live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saying?
The thing about it is that
Yeah, I realized
out of
it
the
just did.
methodology
Yeah.
that is used here for the Washington Post, right? Out of those 9 people, it doesn't take into consideration the fact that out of those 9 people, those people could have been actually reaching for the gun and off. If you get what I mean, so they could have actually be gun. They could be fleeing the scene, all sorts of different things, and like the statistics suggest a lot. But the thing about it is that you can't just have those. These are just raw statistics. You will have to go into further detail with the statistics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just look at the raw statistics and say, well, more white people are shot than black people. Because there's a higher white population in the U.S. obviously.
Yeah.
So
And I think
when you
also
look
not
at
I
it,
think, but I think also by the numbers provided, I think that the number of black people still shot is slightly disproportionate to the average, the national average of black persons, like per population wise. I think it's still slightly above the ratio. So
so
Yeah, I think that's one of the issues as well is that people usually like try to average it out like statistically from the fact is that blacks are the minority, so they look at the average population size of blacks, whether it's across the country per se, or just in certain states or certain counties, and then they would then try to then average it out to within that particular state or county to how much black people actually got killed in comparison to white people. So in terms of the percentages aspect, then it will come with that when you compare it to the average population size of each of these groups, then black people will actually be the ones that actually come further top. So this is why this is why we have the issues, even though like statistically wise, like the flat out statistics would then show us that you know what that it was only that I think it was 19 individuals that actually got shot, like white individuals that got shot, unarmed individuals that got shot, whereas nine black individuals were unarmed that got shot. But then people saw it as and then so that you have people questioning it about like okay, well, more white people got shot than black, but that was just the instance and the reason why people feel a certain way about only 9 people black people getting shot. That's the way it's an issue.
yeah, so to go further in the statistics, because I just dropping the statistics out there, you guys can discuss them after. But so there was a recent study carried out by a professor in psychology at Rutgers University. This is so the thing about it is that they're estimating now that a black man has a 1 in 1,000 chance of being shot by the police,
Mm-hmm.
shot and killed. 1 in 1,000
Who fight PS4?
from period. Somebody getting a rap game no way.
Correct. Obviously, Matthew. Go ahead.
No, so yeah, so basically, for black people, for black men they have a 1 in 1,000 chance of being shot by the police, as compared to a 39 in 100,000 chance by a white person. But the thing about it is that for that one person that's gonna get shot, the where they live plays a role in it. How much crime in the area plays a role in it, and all sorts of different things. So the thing about it is that one of the people that was involved, Joseph Cesario, he was involved in this here. I can send the link to this as well. But he pointed out, he pointed out in a press release explaining it. He said that many people ask whether black or white citizens are more likely to be shot, and why. If you live in a country that has a lot of white people committing crimes, white people are more likely to be shot. If you live in a country that has a lot of black people committing crimes, black people are more likely to be shot. Y'all
really
get that, right? That's what he said. That's what he said. The thing about it is that the crime that black people are involved in plays a significant role in the fact of whether or not they get shot, and that's what the statistics are showing up. So here's the thing: there was a guy from Harvard University. There's a long paper. I don't think anybody's gonna want to read that long paper that he put together. But he said that he actually estimated that blacks have a 27.4% less the chances. He's talking about the chances now of a black person being shot. They have a 27.4% less likely chance to be shot by police relative to non-blacks and non-Hispanics. And the thing about it is that he started accounting for a whole set of different things. So I could probably copy and paste this part that he put, this paragraph, so that people could see. But he said in stark contrast to non-lethal uses of force, you find that conditional upon police interaction, there are no racial differences in officer-involved shootings on either the extensive or intensive margins. Using the data from Houston, Texas, where we have both officer-involved shootings and a randomly chosen set of potential interactions with police where lethal force may have been justified, we find, after controlling demographics, officer demographics, encounter characteristics, suspect weapon, and year fixed effects, that blacks are 27.4% less likely to be shot by the police relative to non-blacks and non-Hispanics. So that's just what the data right now is showing.
So why is that? Is it a case of like the police afraid to shoot black people, or is the crime rate in black community depending on why is it less likely for black people to be shot by the police? Are they less aggressive? Why is it?
I don't know. I don't go. The entirety of the study is 56 page study, and this is only on page 6.
Oh, okay.
So it is a lot of.
Yeah, we may got come back again around this.
Yeah, so I would check back, and I would I guess I could send the information. So next podcast, you guys
we could run it.
The people.
Yeah, because this might be a topic that gone for a week or two. So if you want to come back again, yes, we could run it again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could probably read through
every single week from now on. Okay.
Yeah, so what the statistics are saying is that when you break things down, I think there's some other statistics I really wanted to get, but it was saying that that police are actually more likely to be shot by a black man than a black man being shot by police. And it was something like a 47% chance or some ridiculousness. So there is I'm not denying that there is a serious issue, because what happened with George Floyd is a serious issue. But is it a case where there's this huge racial disparity that's causing black people getting shot every day and black people got to be worried and all of that, or is it a case where there's a lot of crime, there's a lot of I don't know how to describe, I don't know what word would describe it, but there's a lot of situations that you get involved with somebody that is a high risk situation, if you guys understand what I mean, where somebody may have a weapon, where somebody may have something that can harm you, and you end up fearing for your life, or you just end up in a place where you feel you're so bad that he ain't got no chance against you, and you can shoot him or whatever. But it's a high risk sort of situation for both individuals. So because of that sort of high, maybe it's a case that they end up with somebody being shot or somebody being hurt or something. Because if you look at the statistics from the Washington Post, a lot of the people, if you click on fleeing the scene, if you click black and fleeing the scene, there should be a lot of, if you look at it, look, a lot of people were still fleeing the scene by car, by foot. So a lot of people were fleeing the scene onto the people that would have been shot. Right. So to me, a lot of factors play a role in why black people end up getting shot.
I have a question for you.
I can just toss it there.
You said black people have a high number of fleeing for the scene. Is that because black people have been told for a lot of years, right? I'm not arguing if it's true or not that the police is against them, You know, it goes back to the slave catcher days with police departments. So you think black people are more fearful for the police and run more than a white person? And then that leads to the black person being shot rather than a white person who may stand up and argue with the police or just be arrested and call it a day.
That's the thing. Like, one thing that Sequel touched upon is the whole lack of faith in institution. When you see a situation like George Floyd's situation on TV, you don't need to see these statistics. These statistics ain't gonna matter to you. All you can see is that a policeman killed somebody. When you see the Ahmaud Arbery situation, it wasn't even police, but you see somebody being shot, and you see that the fact that person was black. When the police come up to you, like, what's the first thing you're gonna be scared. You're gonna be scared, and the police know who work on the job and work in a high crime area. He's gonna be scared. So it doesn't really put together for a good situation, because at the end of the day, these people, if they do anything that's even like slightly off, that person may kill you, and you got that in the back. You thinking of the interaction between black people and police is such a odd interaction, and it's such a weird interaction. Let me just put, something will always go wrong in that. Something can go wrong, and it rarely ever goes right, as we can see. Something can go wrong, and because of that, like, because the people don't have any faith, a lot of people are angry at the police now, because there's an underlying thing with just there's an underlying narrative of hating on the police and that sort of thing. So a lot of people giving the police trouble as well. So to me, it's a really antagonistic relationship, and because of that antagonistic relationship, that's why these problems, why people running from the police, why people ain't complaining with the police. Because people ain't gonna think, if you think that a man out there got the intention to kill you, it may not be the most rational, it may not be the most rational thought, but it's based on what you're seeing on TV, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the first thing. Or you ain't think cooperating, you thinking about how protecting is a fight or a flight situation. You just about protecting yourself.
All right. Martin, before you go, Teague, I want to ask you this question. Do you think the media plays, and I'm not talking about in this specific case, we could talk about this is when we get into the right situation, but you think the media plays a role in black people having a deep fear and hatred for the police in the United States of America?
Can you repeat that again, please?
Do you think
the media?
The media.
Go ahead.
Who want to go first? Who want to go first? Teague, or you want this? Sako go first.
Repeat that again.
Repeat for sequel.
Okay, what I was asking is, does the media perpetuate both the fear and the hatred for police and black Americans? Whether it be news or the entertainment.
Yeah, I would say it does, or sometimes it just brings to the situation that people already know that happens to be there already. Because most of the time it is that most black people tend to live in just like neighborhoods. I don't want to say the ghetto per se, but that is usually the case. And in that instance, what it is that they usually have family members who have been mistreated by police officers, or they themselves have been mistreated by police officers, or they might have friends, or they might have individuals of friends that also have been abused by police officers as well. So it is something that they know that happens already, and then they go about it and they go about it. They say it online, or they hear it inside of music, or sometimes they might see it in movies as well. But I think in some instances that they already know of it, they see it, and then sometimes when it goes on the media, it's around the frustration where it clicks because they're like, damn again. So in some instances, I would say that media as holistically as possible, that includes, for example, let's say social media per se, and then you then have just like regular TV news per se as well, and it all comes together, I wouldn't say that it influences like their perspective on the situation, but I would say that it influences their anger and their frustration on the particular situation.
Okay, Mr. Duguay, do you have any opinions on that question?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the media help perpetuates the fear and the anger that black people have for the police in the United States of America?
I think they do, because media likes to feed off of trauma. They love trauma. They love dramatic.
Precisely.
They love glory. They love twisting stories sometimes
Mm-hmm.
for their own benefit. And it's been seen countless times of the media doing that.
Mhm.
Sometimes they don't give you the full picture of the story. They don't explain, well, maybe this person did do something, and they would like to warp the story sometimes to their favor, and it diminishes the fact that what can you really trust,
Yeah.
and there will always be a lack of trust, unfortunately.
Mhm. Okay, Mr. Kev Carter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure, definitely. Regardless of what the topic is, whether it's sports, whether it's killings, regardless of whatever the topic is, hurricanes, media is just it's kind of an entity. It's almost like watching a soap opera sometimes. Like it just creates an atmosphere to keep people intrigued,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, that's
sometimes
that's
even
the
though
intention.
yeah, it projects a lot of fear and stuff. Like people will literally sit down watching news the whole day, CNN and stuff.
Mhm.
Like it's entertainment for some people. So you know, I guess that's just how it is. But um, yes, the reality is, black deaths and stuff. The statistics will show that it has been increasing over the past couple of years. But the media does add some sort of speculation and intensity to it.
And on the flip side, I want to ask this question: do you think the media portrays black people in a way that would make them seem more violent and harmful to not just white people but all other groups of people in the United States of America? Anyone could go for this question.
I would say this: the media has an agenda, and
Mhm.
I don't think some people like to admit, especially these people coming on TV and pretending to care about the cause of black people. They don't care for them. They have people who are they have owners who up there on the top
Mhm.
dictating what's going on, and it's based on what the people want to see.
Mhm.
Is what they can get. Basically, you want to see X, so you can get X, and
Mhm.
that's what's happening in the media right now. Right now in the media, like right now in the media, everybody gonna be pushing George Floyd. I was scrolling and I see MSNBC got a live 24 stream of George Floyd on YouTube.
Mhm.
Right? It's because people want to watch, want to see that. Does
Well,
however people are portrayed are based on whatever agenda, whoever pushing the money behind that agenda.
I do agree with you as well. But the thing about it too is that like again like what I spoke about earlier today is like where I said that the issue really becomes politicized because then today as well is that I saw what's her name again, Susan Rice, who was the one of Obama's former advisors. She would have came on CNN and she would have said is that is that the protest that we're seeing today is right out in the Russian playbook. Essentially what I saw today is that she switched the whole narrative from being about the protest about being from George Floyd, and she switched the whole narrative to that of being of Russia right in being involved in Saturday George Floyd situation, and that in itself is an issue.
It is. What I found particularly interesting, because I like to tune into all sorts of media, because sometimes I would still sit down and watch a little bit of Fox News, a little bit of MSNBC, because I want to hear what these more biased people are saying from both the left and the right.
Mhm.
But you see, Tucker Carlson hit a real interesting idea when why the left, why the Democrats are so interested in open borders and all of that, right? And he
Mhm.
said, well, all of these people pushing for open borders, right? But the main reason is because it's opening them up, or it opens up a supply line to a whole set of voters that can vote for you because you providing them with opportunity that they wouldn't have under another party. So like all of these people, they get him to vote. I know you're hearing all of these conspiracy theories. No, I ain't saying that any of this is true or anything like that. I
Mhm.
mean, you can take this with a grain of salt. But you can look at the evidence and research it on. It really brought up, but it really showed me, because one of the issues that we have with it is that the Democratic Party is so disconnected from what's in the world right now, and because of that, a lot of people don't want to vote for them. That was probably why Bernie Sanders was able to move that whole, but his going against the establishment, because the establishment doesn't represent them. Somebody like Bernie Sanders will represent them. The same way Trump was able to win, because the Republican Party became so disconnected from the individuals it was supposed to represent. Trump was able to push this anti-establishment, this similar anti-establishment sentiment, and was able to resonate with people, and people support Trump. So like when I saw all of that, it all turned back to saying that these people have an agenda, and it just happens that the whole Black Lives Matter movement, police brutality movement, the whole police getting shoot by policemen shooting black people and gunning down black people, and we need to do something about it. It just happens to fit into their agenda. But my question would be like, what will happen to us now? What will happen to black people when we no longer fit in? That's my question.
Yeah. Dougie, do you want to say anything on this?
We can be thrown away. That's what happens. After you no longer serve a purpose, you get thrown away. The reality of every situation that we have to look at nowadays. When are we going to be tossed? Not if you're going to be tossed. When. That's why we need to start looking as black people. I tell myself, we need to start empowering the social norms that we currently have. If we look at our society here alone in Barbados, whereas we would say, well, a white man might be a greater man than a black man, and if we will ask ourselves, why is that? Wait. I work for a man who he's 19 in Barbados. He's a sir. And I see people
Sir, don't say I can get you fired because I can't afford to get a job, but just not you.
No. So I don't work for that man no more. I worked for him before, but what I'm saying is that with my experience for working for that man, that was one of my first official jobs. When I was 17, I started working there, and I watched people throwing themselves at that man when he came down to the workplace. And he treated people like garbage, and that man is a sir in this country. He's knighted by this country. He's a white man. And you will see a black man start a business like that, just like his, and he will get no traction. This man has multiple businesses in Barbados. He treats people like garbage. People come and praise him. And it's the white people that will come and call him out on his bullshit. And I witnessed that. I witnessed a white man come and support his business, and then turn around and say, I would call him right in front of me and say, I will never support your business ever again. I'm supporting it because I know who you are, and as a white man in this country, we support our own. But I will never come back in your establishment again. But black people continue to come in there and continue to support that man's business. And there's problems like that I will always see. We have a society where we put people who are different from us on a higher pedestal, and we would treat our own like garbage. And it's a sad reality.
That's true. That's true. It's that whole thing about the white man being cool. That's something else said, but it is very true. I think a lot of black people, we do not view our own in high regard. It's like I always say, let's say a black person in Barbados tries to do a business, right? I know we talking about the America at first, but we in Barbados for a little bit. I think we are very negative for our own people, and we are not. And I say negative is not also in a form of positive criticism. We will not say, hey, buddy, you got a good product, but your packaging a little off. Let me try to help you. It's always, this packaging is trash, and I'm not buying from you. You know what I'm saying? Or this food ain't taste all of that. But then, you know, you're going to market, eat trash at McDonald's all day. but you want to support a local, and I just think as black people, it just, there's also...
This chicken ain't seasoned right.
Ain't seasoned right. You know what I mean? Or, you know what things happen? You chicken it off one day of you are chicken 100 times in a row. The 100th first time you buy it, it tastes good. Then you done with it, man.
I ain't getting back.
But you had 100 times of success before, you know.
But But I mean, touching on what Duguay said too is like, I mean, when the show opened, that's why he would have mentioned too that history repeats itself. Like black people need to uplift one another,
Correct.
whereas the negativity and stuff. You think about it too. I found it a bit ironic. Like we basically kind of kill off our own race. Like when it comes to black on black crime, when someone goes jail, man, they say, "Man, free my boy, he don't deserve jail." Like we kill off our own kind, but then when the whites kill us too, I mean, obviously it's still not right, but they're more against it than us killing our own kind. When we kill our own
Right.
kind, like everybody's quiet, like he got get out of jail, like jailing for this, like my boy was a good son, like black people, we
I
really
would
need to
not. I'm not
reassess
saying, hey, you know what?
ourselves.
Well, my son's went to jail. Let me stop my other son from going. It's never that. It's always free my man. But you sound whacking
Or he
another
got
man who's
pulled
saying
to get
foolishness.
justice or something like that, get
Yeah,
revenge. Like
boy. Free Rufus, boy.
we got,
He only burned on the King
like
Field
we
and
really
Red Tree
got
Women.
we really got to reassess our way of thinking, and like social conditioning is like we can be really easily trapped into it. So like being
Correct.
really able to think for ourselves is very important. And but
Yeah.
at the same time, we got to uplift each other. Like it's very painful to see. So
There,
yeah.
there's a video that I can send in the chat with from the LA riots actually. I guess this could count as a segue into the riots
Yeah, let me go, man. We lagging too long, man. We thought over. Oh, I
yeah,
thought
we
it.
be like
Honestly, I thought it was only
we
gonna
be
be like
like
a slight little like 10-minute discussion. We had also over this, but let me go. I'm
With
getting
that,
riots, man. Let me go.
yeah, because
right.
this video from the LA riots,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna lie, boy, it hard to watch. I ain't gonna lie,
So
it hard to
before
watch.
you go there, Mr. T, I know you had you're very outspoken during when the riots were first taking place. Do you mind to state why you had such a I don't want to say controversial, but a different opinion to the average black person with your opinions that you put forward?
Um, my thing was because when I saw that they were looting the target, it was like, oh, this is a bit, this is a bit too far. This is a bit too far. Why would you destroy? Why would you destroy your own community?
Mm-hmm.
Like you in this community, the thing about it is that let me say that racism is because it is historically speaking it's not. But let's say it's the worst that it's ever been, and every single day there's another injustice. But despite all of that, your people are getting through. Your people are striving. Not. I mean, despite the barriers, they're still getting over the barriers and they're making significant changes for themselves and they're building up the community despite of it. Why would you then tear down that community? That's what got me frustrated. And there's something that I always tell my little brother because people say, "Man, I ain't justifying it. I ain't justifying it." But most of the responses were, "Man, the lieutenant thing wrong, but this and that and the next and the other, and people angry and what's not." But I used to tell my little brother this all the time. For the time you say a but, the only thing that come in is justification or excuse. For the time you say a but. If something wrong, you can say it wrong. You ain't gonna say but. Big man, I break your leg, but for the time that but come in, it's like excuse after excuse, and that's what's happening. Like you are finding excuses for people tearing down your own community, and you're not finding any way for people to accept responsibility for it. Or it was a white man that started. But even if a white man started, even if
Wait.
a white man inside, even if a white man started, you still responsible for your own actions as a black man.
Mm-hmm.
As a
That is
black man,
true.
you should say,
But it,
yo, I should not burn down this place, or like you really think, right? Let's be real. You really think that any of we tell we parents that I was outside looting, I breaking K Shepherd because a white man tossed a brick through K Shepherd window and it went through me.
but on a serious note, right? We have, I was right, Dr. Umar, what's his last name again? The guy, Dr. What's his name again?
Omar
Oh,
Johnson.
that thing favorite boy,
That's
boy.
right.
Omar Johnson.
All,
Look,
uh,
look, he made a very interesting point tonight, right? Is that like, black people have never got a reparations, right? So if black people go prepare and go there, loot and steal at something, to justify reparations or get violate reparations in these times of urgent need, then it's totally.
Oh, what Saka is
But
hold on, Siko, right? A Gucci jacket can't pay for my ancestors ain't too big, man.
exactly.
Listen, right, and it's only a little bit of something, a little bit of something is still better than nothing at all here.
That's such a little bit. That's such a little bit. Go.
There is something else, but
What my mother here for when
Yeah, look.
my mother told me,
Mhm.
always work hard and do your job. You have to. That's it. That's what I live by. She said, if you ever plan to thief, don't thief night small. Thief the whole friggin' world. So,
That's true.
target,
carry
and
just
give me
one TV, carry a container.
the way is that, all right, you looting, you doing the looting. What purpose is that going to serve at the end of the day?
Right.
What light is that going to shed for anything but your own
Exactly.
personal
Exactly.
Yeah, they're
Let's
missing
see,
the bigger
let's see.
picture.
selfishness.
Let's see. For me though, I don't necessarily agree with looting per se. For me, is that if you want change, and in this case, they want social change, that they want to reshape the power struggle that they're facing. I feel as though personally is that businesses don't necessarily do it. They would have to actually attack the state itself, like the government institutions within the country, because that's where the real power lies. For example, for the social issues.
Correct.
So for example, if somebody organized, if, let's say like somebody protests, they said that they want to loot, then if they loot, then they should also then take the governance structures and institutions as well. So at the end of the day, is that you've taken the some economic aspects of the given state, and then you've taken the government structure of the state, and that in itself is where the real power lies. And then there now is that then they will not have a choice but then to come and speak to you and to at least adhere to some of the issues and the concerns that you have, because you're basically taking the money that controls the state, and then you're taking the state institutions, and again, that is where it should be. But most people don't say it that way, and they just go about, he said that they want to loot different stores such as Gucci, pharmacy stores. So for me, that's
Nike
where
as well.
so for me, that's where most of the protests really fall down, because at the end of the day, I study politics and I study international relations, so I know it off the bat. Is that the way how you get change in countries is when you take a coup, is that you take the central government, government institutions, and that's how you conduct your coup. So in
Yeah.
this case, is that they want to conduct coups in the aspect to change the social power dynamics, but they're not taking the right and necessary institutions that they need to take, and that is the issue with for me with most of the time when it comes to protests and riots.
Hold on, but
Yeah.
you raised a point earlier. You said that if a white man throw a brick through your thing or whatever, do you think in the cases people from other towns take advantage of these situations and enter these persons' communities to start stuff, to get free charges and stuff, and the persons in the communities have to then face the effects afterwards? Do you think it's always the people in those communities' fault?
It is quite possible that people actually to wreak havoc. It is quite possible, and there are individuals who are sick, who are disgusting enough to do something like that. There are people out there that like that, and I see that there's some proof coming about saying that there are some individuals out there actually destroying things, and they're not even a part of the
Nope.
not even a part of the protest. They're just going out there just to mash up and destroy. And no, especially now with this COVID-19, a lot of people decide, and a lot of people just looking to get outside and do lawlessness.
But
So that it's quite possible that happened.
But in addition to what Seko said though, with the politics too, I think a lot of it. I mean, yes, some people. I mean, because not a stereotype or whatever, but I mean, some of the races out there are not even like colored or like Hispanic or whatever. Like some of them, you can see there's proof saying that some of them are just doing it for the fun of it, but a lot of it is down to emotional too, and lacking emotional intelligence. Like like Martin Luther King would say, hate cannot fight hate with hate, but also too like fear
You
is
know,
what leads to anger. Fear is what leads to anger too, because it's like a lot of colored people out there, they're tired of it. They're saying, "What if I'm next?" That's the kind of mentality that they're going about it, but there's no structure, like there's no leader, so like they're not really using emotional intelligence. So definitely emotions get the better of them. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's that next week's topic. The black people need leaders, but that's for next week.
hmm
Stay tuned, guys.
Stay tuned to be continued. In all honesty, right? I honestly feel, right? I know it's a little quiet this episode, but I get why people do it. But I think my problem has always been, why would you destroy your own community? Like I know
precisely.
a guy brought a point. He said, "Well, sure, you destroy Target, but you don't own Target. I destroy the other businesses," which is true. But it's also very disadvantageous to you if you wreck your own Target in the middle of a pandemic where you can't go many places as freely as you would like to go. That you destroy Target next to you. My thing has always been,
I mean,
if you are in the black community, I'm not saying that you should, but I can understand you going to destroy the white community, Latino community, and say, hey, look, you try this nonsense, with a ban with me, are we going to make the place miserable? I could never understand why would you
Yeah.
destroy your own community. It never made sense to me. But it maybe
It's beyond me.
is maybe the closest thing you could get to, and I also think that some groups take advantage of these situations. So some groups may send in some people, busting some people, and say, "Hey, create a little chaos," and they can help
Yeah.
people. Being, since we got election coming up this year, I'm not saying that it is that way, but I can clearly see where some persons could take advantage of this situation for political gain.
But just keep in mind that more than one thing could be true at once,
Mm.
because people just tend to forget that just because somebody hijack this and they've got a bunch of white people hijacking things and they don't necessarily mean that there aren't black people involved, and those black people should be held responsible, and each and every person that involved themselves in that sort of riot should be held responsible in the same way. It could be true. The people that come in for other towns just to start up foolishness and lawlessness should be held responsible too. Everybody should be held. But just because one thing is true, it doesn't mean the other is.
True, true.
okay, I agree with that as well.
It's like you want to jump in. You said you want to jump in, man. Jump in. If you ain't going to rebuttals, jump in, man. You don't hold back punches.
I believe that everybody is accountable for their actions.
hmm
Yeah.
Accountability is extremely important. Right now, the rioting and looting ain't really solving nothing. At the end of the day, all you're doing is trying to making your current situation worse, because the rebuilding process still gotta be done. People can still get prosecuted. The violence will continue to go on. It ain't solving nothing.
Mhm.
It
The
isn't.
best way for you to beat any system is to beat it at its game. It's to outsmart it.
Precisely.
To decide on yourself that you ain't taking it no more, but you don't have to go to violence. You don't gotta destroy your area to voice your opinion.
Mhm.
When
Yep.
when
Fully
when we
agree.
talk about, let's say for instance we talk about the Black Wall Street. You know how they had United States mash up the fact that the black people were developing their own area. They tell themselves, "Look, we keep getting shit on all the time. Let me band together and do something for ourselves." That the Americans
Mm-hmm.
firebomb the place, the white people firebomb the place, kill enough people, firebomb it. Why do you think the white people had to go that far?
Because they couldn't beat them
Because
naturally.
you are actually defeating the system that is against you.
Mhm.
hmm
And they couldn't play a fair game. The black people would spar them all the time.
Correct.
I
Everything
mean,
was legal. Everything was operating above the board. Everything was working.
Mhm.
When you stoop to the level of destruction, all you're doing is telling the people we're idiots. We would destroy our own communities to prove a point that we are aggressive, that we have issues, that we will continue to steal instead of developing ourselves, instead of coming with a feasible solution. In this time, you are going to destroy and let one or two people incite the destruction, and you tell yourself, well, I could get a TV out of this. What is that going to do for you? You're only promoting the fact that yes, I steal things, so that might give you the right to protect your property by shooting me in my face.
Mm.
That's all I was gonna do. To me,
What?
it don't make any sense.
All right,
None.
T, you want to say something, or was Sako that wanted to jump in? Siko, sorry.
No, but
Siko one.
Siko, jump in.
I
Siko.
was just
Jump
gonna
in.
jump. No, I was just gonna jump in and say that I don't necessarily agree with the what's his name again?
I do it.
I just went just now. When I
Let's
was
do
looking, I
it.
just went just. I don't necessarily
Let's.
agree per se because at the end of the day, is that to necessarily get change, sometimes you have to be aggressive with it, and that is given from most of the times when they're
I don't deny that. I don't deny raisins and things. That yeah, sometimes you need to take a stance of aggression, but stealing isn't gonna help the situation at all.
So,
So what
in what aspect then? So, what should black people do then? Because as clearly as Mr. Manning pointed out in the group chat, he said George Floyd was killed over $20. I can't remember if it was a check or a bill, and Trayvon was
it
killed
was
over
a
a bag
check,
of
yeah.
Skittles. It was a check. It was a check. Good. So, how then would you move forward then if you're not supposed to riot? What is a strategic strategy that black people should use to move forward?
There
you,
was.
you gotta go to war sometimes, huh?
But how you can go
You
war?
gotta
But these men
look
got nuclear bombs. I mean, what are we gonna
look
do?
at the black.
Well,
But they were destroyed in Oakland, California. They were shot down.
well,
A lot of these
well,
players are still in
Um.
jail to this day.
well,
Corollary.
they're not going to like drop nuclear bombs on their own citizens and so.
I mean,
You might be
But
correct.
no, they won't do that. They will never do that.
Um.
because because at the end of the day too, like while they have to like still find some stability within the country per se, it would essentially like diminish their international image per se, and they don't want that to happen. But in itself though, is that basically what we see is what we're seeing now is that we have to look at the protests and the riots holistically at the end of the day. Most of the people have been home because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So at the end of the day, they're frustrated. They have nothing to do.
Mhm.
So now add that frustration from the COVID-19 pandemic. They're home and they're more than likely jobless.
Mhm.
And add to the frustration seeing one of their brothers being killed or just in that instance, So everyone's going to go outside and they're going to protest and it's going to go wild in itself. So in itself too is that you have to ask yourself is like, how does this compare to other protests as well? Because at the end of the day, the other protests were actually centralized and they were actually strategized in that self. These protests, that is not the case. We just seen individuals just go and protesting, no centralization and no strategization took place. So for me is that I can't separate the protests and the riots that are taking place that are taking place now from that of anything to do with the COVID-19 effects as well. But my thing about it is that when you really want change, and when you really want change, is that it's just like are you really risking to like, or do you really want to die for the cause in itself? And
Mm.
I don't think much people are actually willing to die at a given moment because like again I would have stated is that the like the targets or like the movements that they really pushed against, I haven't seen anything because for me again, I will just refer back to coups again. Like when you're on taking the coup, the things you take the parliament, um, you lock down the prime minister, you secure the prime minister, you take down certain defense
For the media.
capabilities. You also get the media as well, and then you also get the airports. And in itself, you also take some state utilities. So, for example, like the electrical companies and the water companies. They're in
You
itself.
do Abu Bakr.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
basically, yeah, so
Yeah.
basically, like, if you take those places of high significance to the state and to the populace as well, society, because at the end of the day, if you take things that that the state needs to function, then you get the attention of the state, so you have that power there. Now, if you take the things and if you take the things that society needs, then the individuals that they not come on and protest will not have an issue in itself, and now you have the power there because now you have that direct control power over state utilities and state institutions. So there you have the power to then influence change because at the end of the day is that now the federal government now people want to take back control of those state utilities and those state institutions, and that is where your bargaining power really comes from. But
All right.
yeah, we just have to wait and see how it goes.
All right, hold on. One quick question for you, live chat. Where should America
From-
look for leadership in this situation?
Just to take it, because I hear looking at the thing again, and I saw that Riots of the voice of the this man is saying that he agree with
Hold on, not cut you, who dog it is that barking so loud?
I have no idea. I want to know.
I have no idea. I'm sure.
It's not my dog. It's the dogs across the street.
Jeez.
That's
Boy,
what
tell them to go feed them, boy. They're so hungry.
Well, I think we need to count riots in America and let police deal with them in America. Anyway, so, sorry.
Corona.
But let's see though. To answer the question about Kevin, where should America look for leadership in this situation?
Yeah.
Well, in this given instance, you should really look for leadership from the president. But in this instance, we haven't seen that from Trump, and he's only like basically intensified the issue at hand.
Don't look to the president.
So in this given stage, you have to go from the trickle down effect. So now more than likely we're going to see Joe Biden looking to take like a more central role to his benefit. And I think that's what was implied.
Can Joe Biden even form a proper statement?
Here's the thing, right? I understand that he had some lapses when he gives whether like pre-written speeches or pre-planned speeches, or when he goes up there and he speaks. But at the end of the day, is that just going over there and meeting with the right individuals can shape you in a very in a very prosperous aspect as well. So maybe he will take this. Yeah. So maybe he'll take the central role if he's unable to take the central role because he's been having some run-ins with the black community for various things that he would have said or that he would have done in the past.
He done had a recent fallout with
Charlemagne
with some of the black community because of whole situation with him dissing Trump supporters. Black Trump supporters, and then he had to come and apologize and all of that.
No, I don't think it was he dissed Trump supporters. It was more he said that if you're black, you vote for me. So he was almost saying like, yeah, I got your I don't want to say this. I got your niggas votes in my back pocket already. It's come across as very ungrateful for him. And he didn't see that he was.
I don't think it was that per se. I think what he said was that you ain't black if you don't vote for me. So basically, he was as a white man trying to describe and trying to basically state to black people that then you're not black, and that in itself was the issue. So in certain instances is that. So in certain instances, I would say then that more than likely then you'll have to look at like the governors of certain countries, of certain states, and some of the mayors as well. And the thing about it is that politicians are not the only actors within countries. So you have like non-governmental organizations, or you just have non-state actors who are just like for example, celebrities sometimes as well. So more than likely, it is possible that we can see a rise of a new like civil rights activist to the forefront. It could be possible, or maybe not. So you just have to wait and see. But I would definitely say though that they should definitely look for leadership within the amongst themselves. They should look for leadership amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And then they should definitely go from there. Because if you continue to look for leadership from politicians, the politicians basically politicize everything for their benefit, and every single thing that politicians do is basically performative. It is for their political gain at the end of the day. So for me again, I would just always say that you should always look for leaders among yourself, and you should always look for the leaders that that are not easily bought in itself, not easily bought and not easily influenced. Because if you get leaders that are easily bought and easily influenced, then that basically distorts your movement again in itself. And I just saw that the guy Kevin would have asked another question. I think the question.
Yeah, we can get that. We can get to that question. We can get to that question. We can get to that question next. But we can leave panel and finish off.
Yeah, but
all right. So you hold on. I can let thing go ahead. You want your pen quickly?
I'm absorbing all this information here. I'm liking these
Yes.
vibes. I'm liking these vibes.
But
Man, it's like
yeah,
Kevin, what again?
but but touching on it though, like the situation. I mean, the question where should America look for leadership in a situation like this? I mean, the fact of the matter is, right? The reality is Trump is a bit. He has known to have made some racist quotes or displayed some sorts of racist behavior in the past. So I feel like Americans very really in a tricky situation right now. I mean, had it happened when Obama was in leadership, probably but the same deaths were going on when he was in leadership. I mean, so where should they go? Well, well. It's really a good question. So,
I don't know if it
Um,
was. I watch it in here
since
quickly.
yeah.
I honest with you, as black people, I don't know where we can turn. Like, I think if I don't want to contradict the question that Kevin also asked, but I think this is a time that black people maybe should really push Joe Biden and say, look, bro, if you want to vote, we need certain things from you now. And if we can get it from you
Well,
now, it all over.
I mean,
So I don't know. Go
and
ahead, Kevin.
I do agree with you with that statement, and I believe that Biden and his team knows that. So that is why at the moment they're actually floating a lot of black women and black men for the VP role per se. And I feel as though I feel as though the black community should also take essential note and essential figure of that. Is that after just floating the idea of a black VP just to get my vote, then they shouldn't be getting my vote in the first place.
Exactly.
But then also too
yeah,
is that they would just like rate. I guess they would look at it. They would try to do it like rationally in itself to say, you know what? Well, if I don't vote for Biden, then I have to be stuck with Trump again, and then I'll be stuck with like white supremacists, being in the White House or just like taking central role in certain institutions, and they're getting support over me where I feel as though I'm being oppressed, and I know that I'm being oppressed. So just giving things like that in itself are terrible. Another thing too is that like again for me is that I will go off my first one again is that people are just losing faith in institutions. And when we look at elections, when we really look at elections, for example, is like when we look at like the election victory of Donald Trump, it was people basically just said that it was down to populism per se. And when we really like scrub down what is populism is basically like people losing faith in institutions to really govern them. And that is what it is. And it starts from the economic aspect of it because at the end of the day, Trump's notion was to make America great again. And to make America great again, it was basically for him to bring back that economic force that America once was before, to bring back those jobs to America. And that was because his supporters they wanted back the jobs because they felt as though the jobs just left the country because it was multinational corporations that decided that they wanted to find cheap labor somewhere else. And that in itself is one of the issues where people lose faith in the institutions because they don't believe is that the governmental institutions are in their best interest. And issues now that we have with the police as well is where people are continuing to lose faith in the institutions. So for me now, I would definitely say is now more than likely going forward from this upcoming general election that the United States of America will have is that we will definitely see a change in the type of people that are going to vote. For one, because people will not want to have another Donald Trump again, and more than likely two is that going forward we're probably going to hear a lot of talk about changing the criteria to who is allowed to actually run in an election per se. I mean it wasn't a thing before, but more than likely, we will more see that those notions of the school of thought where it's like who should really govern really coming back into play again because of Donald Trump. Yeah. And for me again as a political science student, and an IR student, I always believe that not everyone should be able to run on it, honestly,
Yeah,
because
I believe so as well. Not everybody should be able to just come in and got some got some idiots that are running people that really ain't equipped to deal with some of the issues that are raised that are raising leadership. But I kind of fully agree with your point that you made earlier, Sequel, with there being with trying to get leaders from amongst themselves I think that's really important because that's the reason why populism. That's the reason why populists like Donald Trump were able to come to the forefront because these institutions actually represent what the people think, and I think that's what's happening in the media. That we're not really seeing what was actually going on. We're not really hearing what's actually the opinion of people. We just hearing what these people push. You just hear like there's a strong that's why I don't really like the media that much because there's either a strong anti-Trump agenda or a strong for Trump
agenda.
Agenda. So you stuck in the middle looking at one side objectivity for it because people just if Trump tweet about trees tomorrow you can hear it in the news cycle but whole trees bad or you can hear about whole trees good or 10 reasons why saying trees was if you get what I mean. To me these movements are coming from because all of this war between the two sides at the bottom because the reality of it is that most of the people who studying what Trump tweeting deep are people that ain't really feeling the effects of what he tweeting. If Trump get elected tomorrow or if Trump lose the presidency tomorrow, that ain't gonna bother me. If Trump gain the presidency tomorrow, it ain't gonna bother me. So we can sit and study about Trump. But when you studying where your next meal gonna come from, you studying what policies you put in place to help you. And the thing about it is that when Trump first called Gassad that talked about the lexicographic rule, and with the lexicographic rule is you would select something like say you select toothpaste, you would select the toothpaste on the basis of two features that the toothpaste had. Like it give you a fresh breath, it clean your teeth in a certain way, or it got in baking soda or whatever. You would choose toothpaste on that basis. So you choose the whole packet of toothpaste on the basis of two features. And a lot of people voted for Trump. A lot of people that voted for Trump were single issue vote.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people voted on specific issues that they thought Trump answered better than the other people. That was the reality of it. And that's what's happening now. People they don't have any faith in these institutions. They don't have any faith in the police. They don't have any faith in this. They don't have any faith. And these institutions ain't really representing them in they want to be represented. So now it's a case of choosing the lesser of two evils. And if somebody says something better than you, then they can vote on that body that's sounding a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So up until the point, and I think the economy is a perfect example how the economy was working up until this point. The media was really pushing that the reason the economy is so strong is because of Obama. But the reality is that the economy is strong because Trump don't really interfere with the economy. So now it's doing well, and a lot of black people are actually benefiting from it, and they likely would have voted for Trump up until this recent issue where Trump showed his true colors. So somebody got a speaker on echoing it.
No, I think that was just some static or something. But yeah, we got a question from our boy, Mr. Manning. Thank you again, sir. He said, in a country where the election comes on with again of two white men faced on two different political spaces, how would you advise black people to vote coming in November?
Well,
sorry, I can't raise the words to read. Sorry. So, Sako, go ahead. Go ahead, Sako.
No, I was just saying for me is that in this instance, I would suggest to black voters is that they should take the election of Senate and the House elections very seriously.
Yeah.
No, I honestly can't remember which one is aligned with that of the presidential election as well. I can't remember if it's the Senate or the House, but one of them though, and then the other one follows well afterwards. But there is a ready start. So there is like you should take primary interest in who's running for the House and who's running for Senate within your particular state, and then there you will look for those that have let's say have views or have policy options on social and racial issues. Because there it is really where it starts. Because now, for example, let's say that Trump wins back again, but the Republicans lose they usually they control the Senate now, right? So let's say that like they they lose both the Senate and they don't win the House. So now is that you have Democrats now that you probably would have voted in that have those racial and social policies there for your betterment, and they now would now have a direct control over what essentially get passes within these two particular governing institutions, and that limits the role of the president significantly, basically because every president then comes with any bullshit laws or policies that he wants to formulate, and they definitely will not get passed inside of the House or the Senate because he will not have the Republican majority to do such. So essentially, right there, it is the best benefit to actually start right there first, and because most of the time the next president or the vice president usually come out of the Senate. So if you so going from then is that if you see any particular figureheads doing a great job, and they continue to so basically win over that of the populace in itself, is then that in the next 4 to 5 years, then more than likely they will be running for president as well. So basically again for me it really starts with the House and the Senate, and it really goes from there. So for me again is that I will then just basically tell them to look at the House and the Senate, and in this given stage as well, is that when you have to pick between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, that is solely for you to do. Is that you should really analyze both of the policies, and you should look to understand them,
Yeah.
and look to see which one really aligns with you and your goals, and you make the rational choice as to which one would essentially be the better vote for you, basically. And you go from there, and you basically go from there. Other than that, you can choose the option of not voting, could be basically not voting. I mean, at the end of the day, some people will be angry with you, but at the end of the day, that is your right to do such as well.
Correct.
And from there you can then like analyze the situation. But for me again too is that if you because for me is that I don't have an issue with people not voting, because I feel as though people have the right not to vote, because there can be various reasons as to why people might not vote. But if you're not going to vote to decide the president, for me, is that you should definitely vote to decide who's inside of the House and who's inside of the Senate. And so yeah, so that's my opinion. So the Senate and the House are the most important, and if you decide that you want to vote for one of the two candidates for president, then you make that rational choice. And if you decide that you want to vote for a third party, then that is also your choice as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Just
I want
a question.
I want to part. Go ahead, T.
Considering all that we went through,
Mhm.
all that we discussed, and all that we know that's going on in the media, considering Democrats and Republicans,
Mhm.
if this is just a random question.
Right.
If there was a majority listening to,
So you
if
got
there
to
was a majority, would you want a majority in the House, and a majority in the House, and a majority in the what's the other one? Keep forgetting all the time.
The Senate.
Yeah,
Senate.
a majority in the House and the Senate.
Senate.
Would you like to see a majority of the or a majority of the Republicans in both? Because of course, each would dictate the policy.
Who happened the most?
The Republicans on one side, you wish for Republicans to have the most. On the other, you want Democrats to have the most.
Well, for me personally, it got to be who my agenda align with the most.
Yeah, but I mean, considering
And they black. But if Republican give me what you want, everyone Republican. If Dems give me what you want, everyone Dems. But
I mean, so far, based on what you see so far,
mhm.
that's what I mean.
Can
Based on what you see in the
you repeat
media
the question
and
again?
we research. Now, based on the media, based on what you see in the media, and based on your research and whatever information you may have, and the discussion that we had so far, who would you want to see have a majority in both the House and the Senate? The Democrats or the Republicans?
To be honest, honestly, I don't know, but for me, here's the thing, right? Is that I am neither of the two. I am not left. I'm not right. I'm more so, like one of those individuals in the center, basically. One of those individuals, yeah, basically like one of those individuals, that straddle defenses, basically. So on one side is that, and this is how I vote. If I like So, for example, if I like some particular Democrats because I like their policies and whatnot, then I'm going to vote for those Democrats. If I like some Republicans for their policies, then I'm just going to vote for their policies as well. And if that unbalances both the Senate and House, well, what's not? I made my Democratic choice to vote for these policies, and I made a wise decision that best benefits me. I don't care if it doesn't benefit anybody else, but if it benefits me because these are the policy options that I saw, and I decided that I'm going to vote for this, then I will do that. But in this given day and age, is that um, I will probably more than likely side with the Democrats in some instances because I for the House and Senate, for the presidential election, more than likely I would side differently. But now for the House and the Senate, I would definitely say that I will probably side with some Democrats in some instances. Because for me is that I do like some of the Democratic socialism policies basically. But and then in some instances, I probably will vote for some Republicans that I see fit as well because when I would have started to analyze some policies that I would have saw from like both sides of the spectrum, then I would definitely say that some Republican policies and ideas do fit me, and then some of those ideas and policies for me that also fit me because again I'm a centrist basically. So
Yeah. So
so that
so
might
what
be
about the other guys?
Mr. Duguay.
And I want to hear the other guys. Like, what you guys think?
Well, yeah. To be honest with you guys, right? As important as it is, I'm not very, very big on politics, but I do believe it's a tricky situation though for Americans having to go to the polls and stuff. I mean, but logically speaking, from a logical perspective, reasoning you would go with Joe Biden over Trump. Logically speaking, I would go with Biden
Mm.
over Trump. But as I said, not very, very, very big on the on politics. Yeah. So,
Right.
Duguay,
Duguay
Duguay
there?
is still there.
Well, for me,
Okay.
usually when it comes down or my political stance on most things, anything, I like to hear the opinions of both sides. I like to
Mm.
hear what they're for, and as was said before, you want to see what you align with most before you make a decision. Um, they don't go with the hype. I'm not a person who's along with the hype. Hype ain't for me. I like to see what your policies are, what you're looking to be, what you're looking to do, how that's gonna benefit or hinder me before I make a decision. Um, sometimes or most of the time it's come down to the best of two evils. Both of them
Is
I
that
go too.
that both of the
both
evil? They would say that.
correct.
Exactly.
And a lot of people then go and make the decision, do I want to go and vote if that's the case?
Mm.
And it does sometimes come down to that. You want to vote
True.
at that point in time.
But on this topic, Mr. Duguay, I got
Yeah.
I got hold in this topic right as a partial flag waving American. Um, who would you advise black voters to vote for in the upcoming election? Sleepy Joe or Donald Duck?
I mean, I would tell
See,
the
Donald Duck is
voters
always
all
get me.
based on what you've seen so far. One already, both of them have had a chance in power.
Mm,
One being a vice, and the other one being a president.
mm-hmm,
And look and see how they were effective in their roles at that point in time. Yes, some businesses, things have been thriving in one aspect under um, Mr. Duck. On the
Yeah.
other hand, you still have to say that claims, certain claims he makes or stances he's taken might not be the best. On the other hand, do we really know what the former VP is going to do as a full president?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Is he going to be competent enough? Does he have the charisma to do it? Does he have the balls to take certain stances? We already know that the duck ain't give a fuck about nothing. So he does take risks and he's take his stances like nothing. Says and is that simple as that. On the other hand, you may have you do I really want this? And if I don't vote, I have to accept and take whatever is given to me. So, I mean, a lot of people don't study it like that at all. People just say, well, I voting for a party.
True.
Something that comes to that.
And
You gotta who gonna benefit you the most.
and again, I will answer this question. Do you think Joe will make it to November? 'Cause, I mean, he's looking a little frail.
Don't worry me, because
I honestly worry with this thing. Like, I don't know if this dude can hang on.
I worried about it. The thing about it is that I'm actually pretty sensitive about the jokes. Well, I can't avoid with the Alzheimer's jokes, because my grandmother actually dealt with that, like suffered with that. And the thing about it is that with Alzheimer's, watch it in with the away. And the thing about it is that they don't remember you. They don't remember. It gets to the point where they don't remember where they are. They can't even have a conversation with you. Is a tough thing to watch, and I don't think that, considering when this presidential campaign started and he got to go up against Donald Trump, I don't think it's easy for him, because the things are gonna ramp up. Like you see that Hillary Clinton was in good health. Hillary Clinton was in good health before she started that presidential campaign, and then boom.
There's a lot of stress, running for president.
There's a lot of stress on it.
Yeah, plus, Joe is 77 years old. I mean, there's a lot of stress on a man of that age.
Exactly. It was a concern for Bernie as well. And Bernie don't want his health certificate because he had a heart attack or something like that.
Oh yeah, I think he had a heart attack on the trail, like campaign trail, yeah.
Campaign trail. So like, and he didn't want to release the details as to whether his heart was working properly or not. Because basically you get a low report. And that does he don't want to release that. So these old guys running for president got me real worried.
Yeah.
They cough too hard, then they dead.
Oh God. So my question is, we can finish off with the right topic and then we move on, because I mean we all for good well now. Do you think for Joe Biden, do you think his vice president would be in? Let me rephrase that question. How important is Joe Biden's choice of vice president to him winning the election?
Really important. Really important. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote for his vice president. That's the reality. That's the reality of it. He needs to be really, really careful this as his vice president. And the thing about it is that Joe Biden has the black vote secured. I don't know if it may destroy his thing with the recent things that he said, especially with the beef with Charlemagne. But up to this point, he has the black vote pretty much secured. What he has to do now is to bridge fill the holes, plug the holes that he's missing. So he has to choose a vice president candidate that's appealing to the areas that he missing outside of that black vote.
You think they have the black vote? You think they have the black vote?
But listen. I was only I talking about pre-COVID.
Here's the thing, right?
He had the black vote pre-COVID.
What black vote?
He did not. He never had the black vote at all because one of the main reasons why he floated the idea of having Kamala Harris, also the lady Stacey Abrams as well, and about two other black VP picks. That's basically why they were floated, actually, because he never had the black vote, and he wants to get the black vote, and then he also wants to get the Latin American vote. And no better way to support him as well because as well as, so basically what he wants to do is that he wants to get that black vote as well. He wants to get that Latin American vote, and he also wants to get that the women's support because he will also have the sexual harassment and the sexual assault claims.
Yeah.
So you're saying that he never had the black vote?
No, hold on. I guess this, right? I think he had a large percent of the black vote, but I won't say all. I think what he has a lot of is that middle white vote, like that blue collar vote that went for Obama the first time, but then switched to Trump when Hillary ran. I think he has that vote, but I don't think he has the whole entire black vote wrapped up or the Latin vote. I don't think he has any of those two wrapped up.
But
Well,
the only reason that he was in this campaign for the presidency to win the nomination is because of the vote. So that was one thing. So hearing that he doesn't have the black vote now is surprising.
Oh, let me phrase that.
Talking
He
about
don't
women
have
in
he don't have the
America.
younger black vote. He has the older black vote. Let me put it like that.
I don't think he has it. I don't think he
Younger
even
vote
has
scarcity.
the over. I don't think he has the older black votes, for example. What I see that he has is that he has the main vote within the Democratic Party. Basically, he has that main vote, and now moving forward, he probably will get some of Bernie supporters. So basically, he has his normal supportive base. He now has some of those of Bernie Sanders supportive base as well, and then he just has all the individuals that just dislike Trump. So, like for example, those apathetic voters from the previous election who decided that that they may vote at all. They probably would have changed their mind now because of all that they would have seen going on with Donald Trump, and they will probably want to execute their democratic right to vote. So then he probably more than likely has those now. But again, too, is that one of his issues now is that some people would more than likely not vote for him for certain reasons. And for example, in the black community, people will remember him for his past policies and some of these things that he would have been coming out now in the media and saying. And he's been getting a lot about last part too. And then another thing too we see now too is that with regards to the women as well, the women that take the sexual assault allegations very seriously. But I think too that we also have to look at too is that the Democratic Party did not really like scale him out because he was accused of sexual assault to anyone. They actually took his word over that of the what's her name again? Tara Reid. I think that he got accused him of sexual assault.
I know you mean. I can't remember off the top of my head. Top of my head.
I
think
can't remember
well,
because it flew under the radar so quick. And so people were so satisfied with his response. I was like, what? People satisfied with Joe Biden's response to sexual assault.
We got president that said he grabbed him, but that kitty cat and he's president. So I mean, nothing else surprised me.
No.
But hold on, man. You still gotta get the other man's opinion on this. Mr. Dugan, sir. November, who should black people vote for? No. The question was, let's talk about Jesus, man. We lost the train of thought. How important is Joe Biden's VP pick to him winning the presidency of the United States of America?
It is extremely important because at the end of the day, if he goes like that and a snapper like that person is the next president. So you want
a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for the PP.
Correct. Is a 2-in-1 package. It always has been like that. I mean, you don't want anybody like finicky, retarded, somebody that can land it, somebody that can go on and is against your policies.
Sarah Palin?
I mean, Sarah Palin. Somebody that can drag it down. But if you look at Trump's VP is a yes man,
You really think so?
I think he's more president. I think he's more president than Donald Trump in my opinion. But
well, here's the thing, right? He's actually more conservative than Donald Trump in itself because Donald Trump is not a conservative to really begin with.
He's a Democrat.
He's not conservative. He's not conservative at all.
Correct.
Exactly. Donald Trump's a liberal.
He is a liberal, but people don't know that. Hey.
But I believe that people know that because the only way that Donald Trump actually won over the conservative vote because people were actually skeptical of him to begin with, and that is essentially why he decided that he was going to pick Mike Pence as his vice president because he would definitely bring those conservative voters to the table. And that is what it is.
You need somebody that is competent enough that can do the job as well, but not somebody that's going to overthrow or overshadow you.
Yeah.
And that's very
at this point, anybody could overshadow Biden because Biden. I don't know, Biden, like, he really, sometimes he would just be angry at people and be shouting at them. It's like, he can be a real difficult person to line up next to.
But
That's the truth.
that's that old grumpy grandpa. All right, Kev, what's your opinion? What's your opinion on this topic?
Yeah, you mean what was the main topic again?
I know you dropped sleep already. The question was how important is Joe Biden's VP pick for him winning the presidency in November?
That what?
Man, let me move on to the next topic, man. He dropped sleep. All right, next topic, man.
he dropped sleep hard.
I know shit. Next topic. God bless. We still got 2 more to go. All right. Earlier for this week, a famous Barbadian guy of social media fame. Sorry, again, the camera. I can't speak properly. Mr. Jordan English notified us of a lady going through some tough times in Denman Valley, St. Philip, and he asked for assistance in getting her house repaired. The guy that ran Jose came forward to say, "Hey, we fix the house," and then a whole lot of legals someone start stirring about the place. Somebody said that the rent wasn't paid in 6 years. This body owned the land, 50 million different things. Again, actually, man lives not too far from the lady, Mr. Seco.
Me and Seco.
And that's the thing about it. That's the thing about it, right? Is that he never saw this lady in his life. You know, I see this lady all the time, and I actually support this lady in her adventures because whenever she comes through the neighborhood, I always give the lady things, and she always stops me and she speaks to me, and I speak to her to find out how she's doing and what's not, and the children as well. Because when she comes through in the she either comes through early in the morning, or sometimes she will come through late in the evening, and I will always stop and speak to her and give her stuff, and also speak to the children as well, and yeah.
Seco, I know the woman as well. Don't do
Okay. Fair point.
Not only that, my mother. I remember my mother point at she and say, "You see she don't let she in the yard here. She's trouble."
Oh God!
Oh geez, man. Don't say that, man. Don't do that to me, man.
All right, man. Leave the situation clear, right? You get the situation clear.
That's what my mother tell me. So that's how I know. That's how I know her. It's just from hearsay. But that whole situation with Jordan English is just a case of due diligence. That's how I see it.
Say that again.
It's just a case of as when you working in that area charity work, you need to do your due diligence. You can't just come in and say, "Yo, I need to help this person for this situation and improve their life." You gotta look and see exactly what's going on first before you decide I can try to interject on this situation, because at the end of the day, you may not help that person, you may hurt that person. That person may need help in other areas that you think they need help in based on what you see on the surface. That's what I mean. So do your due diligence and make sure that you do a background check on the people, that you speak to the people in the area and that sort of thing. And you speak to all the other agencies to see exactly what needs to be done.
But that's the thing, right? Is that you would say that for instance, but he was never basically like a charity per se. It was just something that he started with the food run, and he decided to conduct the food run. And when he went on the food run, I could only assume is that he saw the reality of life for many Bajans, and that being striking with poverty basically. And for that, then he decided that, and I wouldn't even say he decided. It probably just affected him significantly, and it made him attached to it in the given instance and certain situation. And when he probably would have visited the lady in Diamond Valley, for example, he would have went and he probably would have seen her and felt a particular way. But he would have explained is that he never actually went into the house to see the dire situation that the house or the way in which they were actually living in to begin with. So then when he got the call about the mom being ill and the mom having to go to the hospital, is when he actually saw the severe situation that the house stood in and how they were actually living, and that so basically I would say is that the attachment and the shocking reality that he would have faced on the food run, now being intertwined with the reality of the situation that the lady and the children were living in, it really brought on a soft spot for him basically, and I feel as though like he would have implied that in the messages that he would have sent out, and he decided that, and then from there he basically decided that, you know what, then he then had to help the lady and the children because they cannot live in such a situation, because everyone should have the right to be able to enjoy enjoy their life and have access to water, proper basically proper living facilities. Basically, let me just leave it to that, proper living facilities. And that is why he decided, and that's why he decided to do his outreach. And he did his outreach through that of social media. The normal way in which he would have conducted the full run, basically, you know, is like going on social media because of the new quote unquote fame that he would have received. And then he went on social media and he advertised it like how he would have done, the full run again, and he would have then got the support and traction. And this time around, he got more traction because people actually saw the severe situation that the lady and then her four good, and then was it four? Yeah, her four girl children were actually living in, and it really pushed. No, unfortunately,
where are they living in it? That's the thing. Because
I mean, at the given time, honestly, I understand that too. But at the given time, we did not know that information, and up to now, we actually can't prove that she doesn't even live in there or she
no,
lives somewhere else. People,
but here's the thing. I think that before he jumped into that situation, he should have just do a bit of research. Because apparently he passed a for sale sign that was for sale.
yeah,
sign.
but what?
How you gonna know the house? You still got, before you gonna refurbish a house, you still gotta see who the house belong to. You don't know if the house belong to them.
We don't think this could be just a slight learning experience for Jordan.
Jordan?
He's like 23 years old. Like, he's still a young man. This could just be, can it not be just seen as an honest mistake?
No, I am blaming him for it. You know, all they because he's fresh in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he feel moved to do something.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't saying that what he did was bad at all. Cause like, he doing more than what anybody would do at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
He see a situation, he see the situation was bad, he jump in with his enthusiasm, and then he run into these issues. Cause right now there's a no trespass sign on the house, you know. There's literally a no trespass sign. They got cease and desist orders from the property owner. Mm-hmm. So this is in the news. This ain't like speculation. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, now he knows that when you jump into situations like this, you got to look and see exactly what's going on, because now you're hearing all sorts of things come about, that all the help that she get, and all sorts of people coming and speaking out because of course there's judgment and bad people.
Yep.
Well, hold on. Let Kevin jump in.
The thing about it is, right, regardless of whatever you're doing, like, people can got up there, right? Regardless. We live in a society too where it's like, you know, like,
Me Judgment City, could all be system.
well, in general, people are very judgmental too. So it's like, regardless, he was trying to help. Regardless, he was trying to help the situation. So it's like, if people can look and say, well, some people being jealous, saying they don't like that he won't take credit for it. Some people even saying that he's shaming them. Like, you know, a lot of people out there who would probably like that same help too, probably out there jealous. And it's usually the people who are not doing anything who got the most opinions on it too. So my view on it is that the intentions are very good. He would have got the money raised or whatever. But as artists say, he's still pretty young, and this would have been the first thing he done it. No one is perfect. Anything, the first thing to do it. So it's a trial and everything. And if he wants to do it in the future, he would get better at it. That's my take on it.
Right.
I hear that.
Hold on. Man, but that's for no. That doesn't mean your girl left you. You got say ain't cause you get done with me. Next 2 weeks is fun. Another one you're liking is what left me your fears. Come on, that ain't done.
I don't think he's done with it. He can keep at it. I don't think he's done with it.
You something else.
All right, hold on. Let me get Dugan opinion on this. Dugan, jump in, man.
Well, my
I be controversial. I know you feel when you say be controversial, though. Some of you gonna see him. I know it's with you, man.
I have issues with the whole situation. The fact that yes, the lady living in that situation is bad. Yes, that is a problem. But you have you have 4 children in there, one of which is a 17-year-old. She can help do some cleaning and clearing of the debris that was inside the house, you feel comfortable living in a situation like that. I understand you need help, but there are some things that can be kind of helped or could have been done better within the situation if you're living within the household. Again, we don't know all the facts. We don't know if they really are all just living inside the household. We don't know if the the landlord was still in contact with them. I mean, the man wasn't getting any rent for them for over 6 years. Um,
Yeah.
it was also said that the Miss Luke was also working up until a year ago. And I said to
I
myself,
didn't
well,
even know she was working.
they said that somebody had said she was a nurse working up to a year ago, but the welfare
Yeah,
department
that was never
ain't
the case. No, she
in
was
there.
Yeah, she wasn't no nurse. Trust me, that nurse part ain't true. Because she
oh,
was.
she was a nurse. She was a nurse years ago, but working up to a year ago was not true. No.
Yeah, she could have been a nurse. I don't know, but the working because she would be out in our neighborhood. She was sending children. That's where the dialysis part had me because it was like you would see the children and not her.
Mhm.
It get to that point because she living in the Diamond Valley right behind us, literally a stone throw behind us. So we used to see children. I know if that was the case for you, but I
Yeah,
used I used to see
I used to see. Yeah, I used to definitely see the children for sure. The
the
children were
children,
passed
but
too.
not yeah, but not her. But the prom, they used to pass on a prom, but bottles in
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and they always do pass with the past. And the thing about it was right. So whenever she would pass, she would always ask me for. No, I realized honestly, right, is that I knew what they would do with the models honestly because when my parents used to live here in Barbados, they will always give her like loads of stuff as well and the bottles. But then I realized too that she's probably selling the bottles, for me it makes more sense to give her food items and what's not for the children than to give her bottles. So I would always just give her food items and what's not for herself and the children over that of bottles. And I
She
would not,
she
and
she
I would
actually
always,
took the food items.
yeah, she did
Wow.
that. She took the food items with open arms.
Cause my mother gave her my mother gave her no, my mother gave her food, but I guess because my mother she knows my mother as well. So my mother gave her food and she asked for to see if she had anything else. And my mother was like, yeah, you could take I could use some rice and thing because we keep our rice and our flour in a big container. So she was like, I could give you some of that. She don't want that. I want money so that I could so that I could buy food because I don't like cooking.
They want cassava tea. We want no rice. We want this. We want this for the
Mama wants a chefette, man.
Since you don't like cooking,
Yeah, she don't like cooking. That's her way, so she want. So yeah, man, that's that situation. That situation. If you follow the situation, you will see that. In that situation as well, that had a lot of individuals that came out and actually helped her. People from the church, because people were defending their name. Because I don't know if you realize in the comments, oh, but holy neighbors, but they ain't helping she and ain't doing nothing for she, and that's bare foolishness and whatever. When the neighbors are actually doing stuff to find out that she wasn't really grateful for being done, was being done for her basically, and she used to cuss out the people if she don't get her way apparently.
whoa.
So yeah,
Mm.
people tell her about how she's keep the children, like they will get clothes for the children,
Mhm.
and they get clothes for the children. Somebody said they buy like detergent and thing for the kids for her to keep the clothes clean,
Mhm.
and she didn't. She was still sending children to church dirty as to the point that people actually spoke to her about it, and she was like she cussed them out. And there were other instances. I don't know if you guys know that she was on more than one occasion.
Try again. That what?
Then she was
She
what?
was she was offered a house on more than one occasion.
I
Actually,
read that it was offered a host. I don't know about more than one occasion, but I heard host was repaired in about 10 years ago, and I heard that she was also offered a house up to about 6 years ago.
Church Village.
Right, yeah, Church Village.
Yeah, but the thing about it is that she was offered a house in Church Village. She didn't take that house for whatever reason. And she went to Indarware. And Indarware went to sort her out with like some sort of accommodation. And then he found out that about the house as well, and she still don't want to take it.
What?
But I mean, at the end of the day, too, is that we have to look to does like the home there, that particular area, has some sentimental value to her that she doesn't want to move? Because I find it a bit strange is that she took the help of Jordan, and she was not taking the help of others. I find it very strange that is the case. Then I also find it strange is that she took the stay at the hotel as well. So in these instances, I have to really ask, is it the case that Jordan was more sincere and understanding of her situation than other individuals?
I don't know.
I don't know the full extent of the situation because he wasn't given all of the information at first.
Yeah.
She wasn't paying rent anymore, and that.
Like she was never paying. She was never paying rent to begin with. It was a government entity that was paying the rent for all those years, and the government entity stopped paying the rent. So
they realized that she wasn't maintaining the property.
That's where the government institution stopped paying the rent.
They said the state of the property.
They realized that she was starting to leave things in disarray.
Yeah.
So my thing is, right,
he wasn't caring about the property anymore. They decided that they're not gonna be able to pay the rent for it anymore.
Okay, so I get that. So if that was the case, right, this in itself showcases poor governance and poor communication between government institutions. Because if they decided that that they're not going to pay the rent because she was not taking care of the property, then why was it that other government institutions like the child care board decided that it was best to leave the children in her care after the property was not being taken care of and after the property was not getting rent, because more than likely issues would arise from that situation. So for me, that highlights more to the situation than our eyes already meet.
Yeah, that's true. But I think during that period of time, remember the government's changed and that sort of thing. So it could be just a case where things
get lost through the cracks.
just fall through the cracks. It may be that case. But my thing with her is that I think that she really need. I don't think that she there fully like 100%. I think that she needs some help, like in terms of her mental. In terms of her mentals, I think that those children they should be taken away from her and put in a as opposed to being constantly in that situation, because it's not a case where it's not a case where she need help and she can be good for the next couple months. She chances are if them get that house refurbished or whatever and she stay there, it may end up being in that same
situation again. Yeah.
So I don't think that she 100% right in the head.
She's not.
I don't think so, and I think that those children really need to be taken out of that situation, and you gotta do what's best for the children at the end. That's how you see it. What's best for her is for her to get some sort of some sort of
help or something.
Some sort of psychological help, because clearly she ain't 100%. She ain't 100% in the best mental condition. They just put
but what they could do, right? They could either evaluate her mentally, or if she gets a home in event that they don't want the same situation to keep recurring, they could, till she gets a job, they could provide a home help or whatever for her to, take care of her or whatever. How old is she, by the way, though?
She's only 39.
What?
She look old as that. No, I want to say that.
She look a bit older, though, to be honest. But
like my mother told me that she was my patient. I know she.
Whoa.
Exactly.
The home health thing may not be. They may not implement that thing. I thought she was a bit older. So.
No, she didn't think, and apparently no. Hear that she ain't the most honest person in the world either. So.
Maybe hard to trust.
Well, I mean, honestly, right? I don't feel as though people should be hard on the lady because it seems as though she's not the honest person. Because in her given situation, they might be there may be various reasons as to why she may not be as honest as people want her to be. Because
Like
she,
situations.
exactly, it could just be that that she's ashamed, or is that she doesn't know who to trust per se. It's like various things that we also have to take into consideration as well. So for people to just label the lady as a liar and she's trying to get help because she's a liar and whatnot, I don't think so. So in the,
I ain't saying that she don't need help. I just saying that you
no,
gotta
no,
fully
I
assess
don't
the
mean
situation
I don't mean
and
but
I
yeah,
mean
also
people.
then too, but then too is that I never expected Jordan to like really fully assess it. That is not his job, and he has no idea how a charity really works. Now this will give him an idea as to what he will have to do and what's not. And I don't even think that he would go into actually being a charity. It was just something that he was doing during the
Kind of see
COVID
how.
19 pandemic.
Kindness is his heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he decided to help the lady, and that was it. So I don't think he's going to go into it for blowing. And so that's the gaming case of the situation. So for him to just help the lady, and then for him to get the help from what's the place again? Jose.
Yeah.
It's also great too. So I see the drive in him to do what he has to do, and then from then when the when he claims well the quote unquote plot twist claims really came about, then he decided that he's still going to press on, and then
Yeah,
that's when the cease and desist came. So he had to make the choice, and I saw that he made the choice. But then also too is that I saw him tweeting on Twitter too is that people don't know the full extent to the situation, and I assume he was implying that on both sides of the situation. We don't know the full extent to the situation with the lady, and we don't know the full extent to the situation with the landlord as well. So,
yeah,
but he seems to know why or know of essentially, and he's basically saying is that people shouldn't take sides unless they know the full side of the situation. And I totally understand that too because that's more than likely was influencing him or was influencing him before. So I have to by the end of the day for me is that you have to give Jack the jacket, and he would have did something commendable and really something that was good for society in itself, and I have to commend him for that. And I don't see anything wrong with what he was doing per se. Now I understand the legality of the situation with regards to him not necessarily like doing the proper due diligence and then being involved in well a potential illegal situation to the detriment of himself. Now that is something bad completely. But at the end of the day, he was risking it all because he saw the dire need that these individuals were in. And at the end of the day, too, is that him bring the attention to the situation and him fighting and pushing on against the advice of the landlord and the lawyer essentially brought the situation to like I don't want to say like on a terrible situation, but I reached the point where the prime minister would have spoken to him. I would have told him like, well, this is what you can do with regards to the situation because of the legality of the situation again, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to provide the necessary resources and individuals behind the push to actually get her the help that she needs to get. So you would have done all that you could have done, and I believe that
yeah.
he should get applause for that. And I should also think he should get applause to then bring the situation to the light of everyone to the fight that of the situation that was occurring. So that was it for me.
All right, Mr. Duggar, wrong myself.
My thing is that Mr. English he is making a good attempt. There's a lot of good that was coming of the situation where a
So
lot of
respect
it
for that.
started reaching out, and I have a lot of respect for the people who are trying to get involved. But again, there's a right way and a wrong way to doing things. You have to do your due diligence because at the end of the day, you don't want nobody sue you or come at you with any other issues.
Yeah,
Put you in hot water because going to demolish my house. Your man could have gone and report, put anybody in court right now, get some money out of the man. We are seeing that there are other people who are in need of help. Like right now, the two old men, the brothers who are living on the west coast. Apparently, they do own the property, and help is being sought to rebuild their home. So it is shedding light on other situations that we might have overlooked or not already been looking at in the first place. and it's opening people's eyes that you have to judge make a rational decision after you've done all of your research.
Yeah.
A learning experience for everybody in a sense.
All
I
right.
agree. I agree.
All right. We almost take home stretch, boys. They round this off here, so.
Football.
Football back, man. Well, we already got football back,
Yeah.
but more leagues coming back on June 11th. La Liga is back on
Yeah.
June 20th. Serie A will be back, and
Oh.
on June 17th, the
17th,
overrated league. I
yeah.
mean, Premier League will be back. Guys, do you
The
think
only
this is
league
right?
that air about is the Farmers League, boy.
I mean, Uber Eats.
Hmm.
Well, listen,
That
right?
league over.
Listen, right? I don't understand how people support AC Milan. That's all they wanted to say.
We
Look, Tiga Siko, don't do this tonight, man.
Man always spreading propaganda, boy. Always spreading propaganda.
I mean, AC Milan looking better this season though. But anyway,
Looking behind the Arsenal, I can tell you that.
Definitely not for sure because AC Milan won in 10. But okay.
Anyway,
Wait, so Tiki not denying that you support AC Milan?
I
oh
don't support
god,
AC Milan here.
oh god. I mean, he had a jersey, but anyway, do you think it's the right move for these leagues? Are y'all think there should have been points awarded? Or you thought it should be awarded to the team that was in first place and call it a day? Do you think this is the right move for these leagues?
Man, it depends on the stage. It depends on the stage already, the season where the team is. I mean, like,
Because Birmingham
it's
champions after
something.
today. I mean, after choosing Birmingham champions Germany again. So
Yeah, but I mean, it was possible that Dartmouth could have overturned it. Me as a football fan, that's obviously very hard to do. But the numbers, the state, like what the football government, what they're arguing is that if it's statistically possible for a team to win, they want to continue the league. But in my opinion, prime. I mean, we all know Liverpool got the title wrapped up, but the Farmers League. I mean, they had less games to play than Prime. But however, we know Liverpool got the league wrapped up. But their argument is that if it's statistically possible for a team to come back and overthrow the team in first place, they're gonna continue.
right, because
The
I think Leon actually suing the Uber Eats because they are arguing that they still have a mathematical chance of winning the Uber Eats. So
no, I didn't know. I thought it was fully over.
nah, they still have a chance of winning.
Yeah,
Mathematically, we don't know that gonna happen, but still.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, to just cancel the league was a quick one. A lot of people studying COVID heavy. A lot of people studying their pockets heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing that you all consider.
TV money gotta be made,
The thing
boy. TV money gotta be
Yeah.
made, boy.
True.
Yeah, but if we look at F1, if we jump into F1 quick, when you look at the F1 situation, F1 may not be here if they don't start the season.
I mean,
If there's no racing, there may not be any F. A lot of teams will drop out. Like Williams already saying that they're selling.
I mean, every
Williams
other
are-
week too. Every other week too. Every time you go on the website, you seen the F1 race canceled or whatever.
Cancel, yeah.
Exactly, and they lost millions of dollars in revenue already. So if F1, a sport that ain't as popular as football, if them losing millions in revenue, I can imagine the Premier League and all them losing right now.
Yeah, football is really a business,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
In terms of the
people,
signings and everything, it's really a business nowadays. So
All right, Mr. Duke, I know you're not a big football fan, but what are your thoughts on this as a guy from the outside looking in? Do you think the league should have come back or they should have wrapped it up?
They think that the loyal fans have waited long enough.
that's true.
That you need to have some form of entertainment.
entertainment.
And players, everybody looking forward to going back out. I mean, obviously you gotta take your precautions. You may not be able to do it in a massive stadium, but giving give everybody a chance because they need it. All you can say here, no, they need it. it's gonna be lucrative as well. So giving everybody that opportunity to feel the vibes again, to feel it if you're living.
Right, right,
I
right,
think
right.
I think that is worth it.
All right, all
Yeah.
right, Sequel.
Oh.
Thoughts on this, man?
I believe it's actually needed because I've been pretty bored
Mm-hmm.
since COVID-19 took over. So I can only imagine other people as well. And I feel as though like the British government was using it as one of the policy options to have in the to like really trying to address one of the COVID-19 issues is actually have very much the football for the entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
and that's one of the main reasons why like the government and the English Premier League have agreed to broadcast all the games for free, so that so that all the individuals within the English population will be able to watch the games for free. I think the games are going to play. I think the games are going to play every single day as well, which is to the benefit of every single person. And I can't wait. So I'm here for the return of football. I'm here to just demise of AC Milan as always, and Barcelona too. And we can just go from there.
Yeah.
Man, look, before they start into a World War III football battle, let me move on, boy, because we almost like, yeah, we on for 3 hours now. Let me wrap this up here, so, man. All right, yeah, more restriction lifted. If I'm choosing Goody Beach all day, the nail it supermarket done with. Good move, guys. Or you think it's a mistake?
Well,
Uh, I got a feeling, right?
Mm-hmm.
That all of this coming because this may be getting only laying a conspiracy theory, so bear with me here, guys. But I feel like a lot of that coming because of the whole situation with Mia Motley and the whole national meeting turn thing or the boss scheme or whatever she calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's essentially a salary. But I was listening to the whole to the press conference that she had.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that had me was like she was talking about the press conference and she was getting into detail. And then as soon as that done, your boy Dale Marshall come in and say, "Yeah, man, we reducing these restrictions on the on COVID-19."
Mm-hmm.
So to me, it feels more like a strategic move. It doesn't feel like
So it's a distraction, kind of, that you're trying to say?
it feels more like a distraction that like, yo, we've done enough to get to this point. Because what my question will be like, what has changed in between last week, the last time they made an announcement, or no, to make them change their policies? What would have changed
well,
that would have given
I
them
don't,
confidence
We get a little bit of echo. We get a
to
little bit of echo. Somebody echoing a bit just now.
so I don't know. I know. Asiko, you was gonna say.
no, I was going to say that. Hello?
Yeah, you listen.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear
Listening.
you.
No, because I heard the echo as well. So that's what I was up. But I was saying is that I don't think we had a COVID-19 case in like a week or so. So that's probably one of the reasons too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
like,
point out, but the thing about it is, right, how we know for sure that they were actually testing people? How we know for sure that people are actually being tested
well, I
in
feel as
this
though
past week?
because whenever they put the release the releases, whether it's like no new COVID-19 cases today or there's some other recoveries, they always tell us how much people they would have tested for the particular day
Yeah, but you
upon
remember,
as well.
remember a couple of weeks back when there was no testing kits, and they noted that as the reason for no cases coming up. Remember that a couple of weeks ago.
Mm.
So my thing is, how do we know the validity of their statement that there's been no cases for the past week? How we know that they have testing kits at this point?
Well, that's the thing, right? But seeing as though like how they would have expanded the testing reach, I could only assume that they have the adequate amount of testing kits, and plus with the amount of testing kits it was being told to us that they would have had in their possession. It doesn't compare to the amount of testing that we would have done because I think overall we probably would have done between 3,000 to 4,000 tests already, and we were stated to have way more testing kits than that, like probably like 20 times that in itself. So you should definitely still have testing kits now on hand. So for me now is that and then also as well too is that it all bears on to trust. Do you really trust your government? And for me so far is that I don't think I've seen anything really to really not trust them, because they've tried to be as transparent as possible with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic. So now it's just me fulfilling that. Well, basically in itself is that they would have adhered to their side of the social contract that we would have signed, as state and as society. And for me, on the society side, is that I'm just going to stick to the social contract now in this case and trust them in this regard. Now, if it's found to be a lie, then I have all right now to be fully upset. And if I want to riot and protest, then I have the right to do so.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
we appreciate honesty, Seko, but trusting government and very funny. Well, we
My
appreciate
man,
the
Alan,
honesty, but
Mr. Carter, sir.
Trust.
I don't believe red man and get banned off the internet, sir. So you better be very careful what you say.
Let's say no all we get hold up in court.
we just being honest over here. No names
Say
were called.
or get a chat slap on me on Twitter
All right,
for inciting violence.
Mr. Dugan, round us off for tonight, sir.
Well, you know, we really don't know if tests are already being carried out. I mean, for instance, we did see that Senator Liz Thompson was able to come back to the island and see her mother, even though she tests positive for the virus. Um, you could say that it could have been seen as a sense of favoritism. Friends, a lot of things could have transpired in terms of that. The reopening, though, on the other hand, people get restless and people are uncomfortable. People want to go back to work. People need to have employment. We need to have circulation of money again, even though it is not foreign exchange, which is so greatly needed. Because I mean, we talking about pay cuts here on the island, and the frontline workers have been complaining that they don't need a pay cut. They should be given a raise. I've been saying I wonder where they would like to get this raise from, because to be honest with you, the only way they could get a raise is if Barbados income is coming in, and our foreign exchange is what pays a lot of our bills. So I am hoping that when we reopen, that things are not going to backfire, and let's say we have a secondary spread of the virus. We lose we lose out because we have opened too early. But people need the freedom. People want work. And I know they're gonna have a lot of people available to work right now. Plenty people.
Very true, very true. But the good thing about it is that Jamaica, Antigua, and St. Lucia are opening before us. So if they get hit with second waves, then we would just see and just close up the suit. I think that's a good thing there.
But we ain't opening for
No, I mean into the international, but open our airport. Our airport open back late and
June or something.
probably at the end of June, like early July.
July is when they said, if anything.
Yeah, what was
Exactly.
interesting?
Because
What
Jamaica
was
opened back
interesting,
on June 15th. Jamaica opens back to international tourists.
Well, what I found interesting, and I know that this stepping off to the side a little bit, but back in 2014 in Guinea, when they were dealing with Ebola, they had a second wave of Ebola because individuals that actually didn't go to the doctor and that sort of thing because they didn't trust the doctor. And they realize now we got a lot of natural remedy people that don't like to talk to the doctor and that sort of thing. So I wonder what the men think about now in terms of adding back to a second wave. The natural remedy people that don't want to take the medication, don't want to talk to the herbalist.
We trained man that was crapping on the toilet. Me,
That was mine on the toilet.
Carry that train, that man that had the cleanse.
Yeah.
You knew again.
Yeah, but remember though with the question that T got, so remember the Minister of Health too, but it said that a lot of people actually have it and they're afraid to come forward. Like there's this stigma going around to where people are, afraid of getting the test done. because a lot of people speculating that it's painful and gotta put this long thing down your nose and babies are people are fearful and stuff. So like it creating a stigma where people who have it are afraid to go in. So
That ain't just Barbados. A lot of young,
worldwide, obviously, yeah.
a lot of people died. A lot of young people that died in the U.S. Apparently, the speculation was that they were afraid. They were afraid of the stigma of reporting it. It's kind of like HIV. Like you don't
Yeah.
want to tell people that you got HIV.
Precisely,
You're
yeah.
gonna get this and
Yeah.
you're gonna get insult. You got a fake
Well,
stigma.
well, when things open back, you just got social distance. Wear your mask and hopefully.
Exactly. If you cough on me, you get cuff you.
I know we had enough tonight, guys. It's a great show. We'll be back again next week. I think we'll probably have majority panel should be back. I think next week. We'll be discussing what topic was again? Black leaders. Oh, do black people?
Black leaders this time.
Yeah. And we've been having news. We forgot and have you all back next week. Remember, guys, to please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And we'll see y'all again on next Sunday. Tell me, good boy, people, what kind of panel when it is?
Peace out, guys. Peace out.
Later, people. Don't catch the corona.
Vibes. Looking forward to
See you next week, guys. Hit us up.
See you next week, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Like, share.